All right then. Hello, everybody. Why is the stream so late today? Because I uploaded a video. What do you mean? Normally I wouldn't stream on the same day that I upload. But today I felt like it, partially because I want to take a break from recording freaking test stuff. I was who was here yesterday when I was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday when I was talking about the potential new like comparison video format. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Just doing a bit of that. Hello, everybody. You gonna be playing with other people? Yeah, probably. Have I done my hangar? I'll probably start with this just for now. Just to give people some time to get here. I don't know if you noticed. I have the package. And I've seen, unfortunately, I haven't made like a big deal about it. I would make it its own video, but at this point, everybody's already seen it. Everybody already knows what it is. I already know what it is. I've seen. I tried not to spoil it for myself, but I saw thumbnails, and that was enough. But maybe we open it on stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? The alternative would be like, I have it as just like a short segment in a video. Maybe like video like a day or two from now. I'll just add it as like a thing. Brother, what are you doing? New? Why don't you learn how to spell new and then freaking come over here and talk to me like a real man? That guy probably could just... I don't know what he has, but realistically, it's fairly likely he could just run up on that guy. Absolutely cook him. Okay, never mind. Your teammate's a bozo. Your teammate ain't... He cooked. He cooked. It cooked, buddy. You nerd. You thought you could get an easy win by killing my teammate. But no. Standoff. I'm pretty sure neither of us are moving. Is the new ability cooldown? No, I made a post on it too. So you should already know that. I mentioned in the... Oh, that's right, you have a freaking surge. Yeah, it's no chance. Oh, my guy has Gemini, which is interesting. I'll make him dash. He'll yeah, I was gonna say. He'll dash as soon as he starts taking damage. Not necessarily... He doesn't necessarily need to dash, but... He starts taking damage. Yeah, I'm dead. When you have his surge, what do you do? Yeah. Good job, I guess. Alright, buddy, don't go out and die immediately, eh? Oh, okay, never mind. This is the same secret build, except I'm a freaking Zephyr and he's an Eclipse. Just come out and kill me. It's not gonna kill me. Oh wait, this guy. This is kind of stupid. Yeah. We get it. You got revokers. Oh well, you can have it. I don't care. If you're time dropping me, that's kind of lame though. Am I gonna replace Graviton for Overdriver? Not on Panther, I'm not. Overdriver I don't think works very good at range. And Panther specifically needs to be at range. It's just to, like, finish that thought. Did he freaking one-shot quad rocket him? Okay. That's ridiculous. The only thing I have left is a Graviton Panther. It's just really bad on this map. It's a long-range map, my guy. I don't know who did more this round, me or my teammate. Jiva, hello. How are you? Nomad. Okay. Oh, come on, don't give it to me like that. Do you know if you take a draw, then we end up both losing? Neither of us get points. You may as well just take the win, dude. Yeah, teammate did better. Oh well. Happens. Can't say that map is specifically bad for my stuff. I just didn't use it necessarily super well. Do I remember you? Yeah, you're the guy who asks if I remember you pretty much every time I stream. When are they gonna bring back 2v2? They're not gonna. Okay. Are those sixes too? Did he one-shot that other guy? Yeah. I don't think many people played 2v2, I'm not gonna lie. And I can infer that just like just by general logic. I can infer that 2v2 is a very unpopular game mode among most players. Simply by the fact that pretty much the only content creator who ever makes 2v2 videos is Cax, and his videos, like, they'd be absolutely crazy, right? Like, he'd be getting pretty much all of the views from everybody who likes 2v2. And yet his views are like, they don't reflect an absolutely massive audience for them. So yeah, it's just the 2v2 glazing is like maybe slightly unnecessary is what I'm saying. Scummy. It's not been lost, it's been converted. That's kind of true. Converted with worse matchmaking. I understand why people don't like Hanger Showdown. I'll absolutely, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, Hanger Showdown's better. And with the current matchmaking, not really. He carried me. If they fixed the matchmaking, then I think it would be better. You hate how the matchmaking is 80 seconds, but then still bots. I have only gotten bots like one time. But it probably depends. If you're still going to have bots make the load time. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it has, if you think about it, like, you're not going to make someone wait for like 4 minutes, right? Oh, gosh, okay. Never mind. I'm cooked. I did not see him coming. Wait. Poke. I'm sad. I'm dead. It's the same guy from last time. I should have been paying attention to the name. What's my teammate got? Okay, oh, it's the same teammate. Bruh. Okay. But, you've gotten bots 4 to 6 times till day, yeah. Mostly... it probably depends on, like, the server that you're in. If you're in a server that doesn't have a lot of players. But yeah, I mean, like... what you're saying makes sense, but at the same time, like, you can't guarantee that there's players, right? And you don't want the match time can't be infinite, because that theoretically, in order to guarantee that there's players, the match time would have to be infinite. So they don't want to do that. They want to cap it somewhere. So I guess that's the reason. But yeah, waiting 80 seconds to still get bots is crazy. I would never play this mode if that's what happened. Yeah. To be fair, I probably would never play this mode if that happened. He can't really hit me. This guy is more than likely an idiot. I mean, he's a kill shot. Basically synonymous. Poke. Whenever I've got bots, I imagine them as players, but then also the enemy team got bots, and that's why I realized. Look at the bot names and realize they're bots, yeah. We have only... I think it's like, it was taking a really long time, but to be fair, it's like, I think I was queuing up like at a really weird time. Where like people in my region probably wouldn't be online, right? Screw Killshot indeed. Something tells me they might introduce a new rarity mech, a new rarity such as Mythic. Well, if you look at the Gear Hub tiers, right? All of the mechs, like, there's no legendary mechs that are mixed in with epic mechs. This guy, wait, it's not the same guy, right? No, it is. But he has 8. I thought he had 6s. And that's brawny. This guy needs to cut it. Okay. I assume this guy's just... I mean, he ends his matches as soon as I end my matches, because we're in the same match, obviously. And I guess he's just starting them the same time I'm starting them. And we happened to get... It's 3 times in a row. I think I have one more battle after this. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. If I do, I'm gonna wait a bit. I'm gonna want a different teammate. Not because I don't like this guy, but just because like I like to be with different people and I like to fight different people. Because then this happens. This exact thing. You fight the same guy too many times in a row, they just quit. Because they're like, oh, okay, I know I'm not gonna beat this guy. Oh, are you kidding? Thanks, game. That's fantastic. I love you. It's beautiful, phenomenal, gorgeous, even. Surge, the most pro gamer super skill mech ever. If you use Surge, you're just good at the game. Definitely the game doesn't just hand you kills on a platter, even though they're not. like you're not even supposed to be able to EMP somebody. But just do it anyway, because the game wants you to. It would never do that with Zephyr, by the way. Congrats on 19k, thank you. Wait, can I reach this guy then? Yeah. Does anyone know how much longer until the price drops? Well, you would if you were paying attention. You could go read it in the announcement. It literally says how long. That player teammates chasing you in every game. Well, I just keep starting them over and over again. So I'll give them a second to start a new one. People sending me DMs. Sorry, I'm like... Fuse Mortar 8, that's right. This is sort of weapon that's like I maybe would have gotten if I didn't already have it. I have it at rank 3, which is pretty bad. And it would cost a lot to upgrade it. But like even when the price gets reduced, it's probably not going to be reduced by that much. It would take a lot to upgrade it, to be honest. I could maybe get the 10 though. I think the 10's credits, right? Yeah. But then duplicating the 10, that would also cost a frick ton. Because you have to get out multiple ranks, and that's annoying as well. In-game, not player and play. I can't friend people. I can't friend people in-game. Or at least, maybe I could, but I wouldn't. Plus, I just need to be really careful with how I use that space. I've got like maybe one slot free at max, and I don't want to necessarily fill it immediately, right? Hello. Freaking Tengu. Oh, no, he's cooked. Okay. Mr. Man. I know this guy's name. This Mr. Man's name. Mr. Man. Mm-hmm. Can confirm. Oh. Oh, no. I mean, they're both EMP mechs, and I can avoid EMPs. That's kind of good. No. I hate when people do this. Every time there's an enemy with EMP, I swear, almost every time they freaking hug you. The same thing with like a secret. No. Get away from me. We'll both be EMP'd at the same time if we're together. We need it so that one person gets EMP'd, the other person doesn't. Okay, hold on. I got you, buddy. Okay, well. His EMP is longer than yours, so you probably shouldn't have done it. Well, never mind, he's fine. Worked out. I'm gonna dump 700 coins on ability cooldown. I mean, good luck, but it's realistically, you have to spend like almost 10 times more than that, probably. Mr. Man. Mr. Fuel. And Mrs. Something. Man, what kind of freaking lobby is this, dude? Mrs. Weston. Why is everybody Mr. and Mrs.? I never see that in people's names, and now all of a sudden it's everybody. Crazy. Yeah, I guess I'm awesome. 2, 1. Don't. Oh, you're an idiot. Don't back up. Yeah, okay. That's an Orion. He's not going to kill me because he has guided weapons. I just got to not die to the explosion. Okay. The people who always like hug you, it's really bad in Hangar Showdown. Do not do that, please. Do your teammates a favor and stay away from them, dude. Because anything like that, damage, anything with like a damage radius, pod guns, you're going to kill somebody by association. You're gonna get them killed because you got pods all over you. And then, like, if it's EMP, like a Surge or something, the Surge didn't see me. He EMP'd the other guy. He went straight for the Vortex because the Vortex was on my ass. But then the Surge ended up getting me just by accident. He didn't know I was there. I would have been able to get him easy if the Vortex wasn't right there. So yeah, that's don't do that. Severability time limit needs to be longer. It used to be 6 seconds and it was obnoxious and I hated it. I think 3 seconds is fine. I think 3 seconds is the most that any EMP should be. It's just long enough to kill a lot of things, but not necessarily long enough to get a free kill on everything, right? Surges is a little bit too long. It's a full extra second, plus, it's a full extra second, plus if you use ability duration, you can extend that even more. By over a second, if maxed legendary duration implant, you can get over 5 second EMP duration, which is ridiculous. Killed by association is a crazy way to go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You don't want it. How did I find out about Mech Arena? I was literally just like looking for a different mech game because I used to play War Robots. And War Robots just like slowly lost my interest over time because it was friggin', you know, I mean, if you've ever played it, you know how it is. And it's, yeah, not great. A lot of problems in that game. And so I was just kind of sick of it, and I was like, man, there's got to be a different mech game out there somewhere. Surprisingly not. Like, I know I'm playing a mech game right now, but, like, in terms of, like, active, like, mobile mech shooters with an active player base, because I used to play on mobile. I don't anymore, but I used to exclusively play on mobile. Mobile mech shooters with an active player base where, like, every single match is PvP. It doesn't exist outside of War Robots. It's crazy. War Robots is the only one. Which is wild to me. War Robots kind of sucks. Well, yeah, obviously. Because it's just massively pay to win. Every 3 months, they absolutely nerf everything to crap. Everything OP that you have gets nerfed. And then they release something new that's also OP. There's some things that I like about it, but I think there's more things that I dislike about it, and I think there's more things that Mech Arena does better. I wish that Mech Arena was more popular than it is. I wish that every single match that I wish that every single time I queued into a battle, I'd get a full 5v5 PvP match. That's what I wish happened, but it doesn't. I think War Robots has some bots as well, but not as many. Not as many. War Robots could have had a great future, and I loved it back then. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, even after it was the Dash mechs, the Dash robots, Heichi, Bulgazari, and Kumio. So those three were the first three, like, pay-to-win ones, and that's where a lot of people say it basically went wrong. And that's fair. It was a big turning point, but even then, it was still workable. Like, up till even like Leech and Mercury. Leech came a bit after Mercury, but like the Pantheon robots, so like Nemesis, Ares, and Hades. I think did those come out before Leech? I don't remember. Leech is basically the War Robots version of Parasite in Mech Arena, if anybody doesn't know. But I think that all of those, they were OP when they came out. Obviously, they were OP and whatever. But I think there was still a bit of skill to them, and there was still a very clear way to counter them. I believe the turning point was when we got Mark II weapons as Mark II upgrades. A soft start of the downfall. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it really started going downhill after. I don't know. There's like certain metas that I thought were, obviously they were still meta, but like good, like a good strategy, you could still counter them. Like, you didn't actually need to have it in order to win. It wasn't like that obnoxious. I didn't think. I think the Mercury, I think, was one of the better ones. That was a lot about timing. And Leech was another one, I think. Leech was pretty darn strong, but it was also kind of easy to counter it if you knew what you were doing. The shapeshifter robots, I don't remember exactly what they're called. Those were some of my favorites. Like, I don't know what they were called collectively. But one of them was Loki, one of them was Fenrir. And the other was Tyr. Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of that stuff, and I still remember a lot of the things about it, but yeah. You got 70,000 credits, 3 complete events, and 5,000 implant parts, so I'd say it was kind of worth it. Oh yeah, all the events. That's part of it. That's another part of the reason why I'm streaming. There's a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna have to play 5v5 later. But then there's this. I'll get some of this. This I probably should complete. I could just spend 1,000 in the shop real quick. Juggernaut. I am possibly gonna rank up my Juggernaut soon. I want to. I really want another modded mech. And I have the means to do it right now to get Juggernaut to rank 6. I could use it with double Graviton 10s. Oh no, man, I think that could be pretty cool. If I watch Pacific Rim, I mean, yeah, but like not recently. It's been a long time. Do I think Deathwalker is better than Eclipse? Nah. Thinking of buying Overdriver 8s for your Panthers, you don't want to use Acorns on Graviton rank up? That's fair. Depending on what you have, you might just want to take your Panther out of your hangar, to be honest. Like, part of what makes Panther good is the high energy capacity. If you're using the same energy capacity as, like, Aegis, you may as well just be using Aegis, right? Like, there's not a lot that makes... I would say, like, outside of the energy capacity, like, if you're using 16 energy on both Panther and on Aegis, Aegis is probably pretty definitively better. Like, you use them slightly differently, but... You Gamba for Surge Skin? I did not, because I don't care that much. I know that the epic ones will be added to... I mean, obviously not on this account, but... I know that the epic ones would be added to the Fortune Vaults eventually anyway. I could. I do really like this one. But I think I did the math and be like, I don't know. My guess is I get all 3 of these skins after like 4,000 or 5,000 acorns, which is kind of steep, like for skins. I don't know, man. Oh no, man. I know I have the means, but I don't necessarily care that much. You maxed your Juggernaut and it's so fun. You'll drop $10 if you max. I can't max it. I could get it to rank 6, and I wouldn't want to max it because a maxed one would mess with my matchmaking probably. So the thing is, here's how I determine what rank I get my stuff to. Silverthorn is freaking tall. Yeah, it is, dude. Here's how I determine what rank I get my stuff to, how much I upgrade it. So I start with the base assumption that I'm using a rank 4 epic mech, because that's what pretty much all of my hangar is, right? So if I want something to perform about the same as a rank 4 epic, something like a rare mech, right? It's a grade lower, it's rare instead of epic, right? So even if it was rank 4, it would still be doing a bit worse, so like 70,000 HP on Ares, versus like almost 90,000 on a Sentinel. These are essentially identical mechs, right? Like that's what they're essentially supposed to be. Now, if I were to upgrade Ares to rank 5, right? it would be about the same as Sentinel. And so what I've found is that in general, if you want a similar performance, for every grade difference, you also need a rank difference. So because my baseline is rank 4 epic, if I go down a grade to rare, then it needs to be 1 rank higher than this. So I need rank 5 for rare, I need rank 6 for uncommon, and I need maxed for common. That is the reason that my Lancer's maxed. That's the reason that I'm not going to get my Juggernaut past rank 6. And that's the reason that I kind of wanted to get my Ares to rank 5. And that's also the reason I wouldn't get my Tengu to rank 6. Because again, like, I don't want to mess with the matchmaking, and I also don't... Even if it didn't mess with my matchmaking, it would almost be worse, because then I'd have, like, this one thing that does super, super well that people maybe shouldn't really do. Like, should you rank up your Tengu to rank 6? Probably not. So yeah. Cost you 2,500 Acorns to get it, but for me it was worth it. 2,500 is not bad. I think statistically it costs a lot more than that for most people. I mean, it's, it is random, yes. It's just based on luck. I have like 45,000 Acorns on my other account still, I think. So I definitely could. If there was a legendary skin in there, 100%, I wouldn't even hesitate. But there isn't. Speaking of legendary skins, did you see the Soulless one, dude? That one is freaking crazy. I know some people saw the Deathwalker one, and they were talking about the Deathwalker one, but the Soulless one's even better. Is Silverthorn taller than Ares? I have no idea. I kind of want to make a height comparison. Like, maybe like a short, but I'd have to find a way to edit it. You love Soulless, literally one of your favorites. A lot of people dislike you for that. I'm just gonna say. Since Redeemer is gonna be price reduced, should you get it to 7 stars? No, probably not. I mean, nothing... I don't think that there's anything that I ever say, don't bother upgrading this, strictly for the sake of how expensive it is. Like, if it's not meta, then it's probably not worth upgrading. Like, why bother, right? There's nothing that becomes more meta just because it's cheaper to upgrade. Because when I'm talking about good performance, like long-term performance, what I'm talking about is everything is maxed. So yeah, your Redeemer's maxed, but you could also have a Surge that's maxed, and that's just way better. So, I mean, yeah, maxed Redeemer is good, but it's not that good. You could max it if you want to, but... You don't know what to do, you're literally confused, as opposed to figuratively confused. Will you get Brick House? I will abstain from legendary mechs, but Brick House is one that I will probably end up getting anyway. Realistically, I think we all kind of understand at this point. I think we all know, or at least I do. Like, it's becoming increasingly clear to me. At some point, I'm going to end up just straight up moving into tier 7, saving up for Surge and Eclipse, buying those, and just mostly using that, right? Because there's only so many things that I can do with these lower tier things. Puma, I'm not even gonna bother buying because it's literally just a worse Panther. There's no point. Paragon, I'll max out at some point probably. Slingshot, I kind of want rank 6. Juggernaut rank 6. MD rank 6. Maybe Guardian rank 5, buy and upgrade Shadow Stalker, rank up Tengu and Ares maybe one more time, or Arachnos I might just leave where it is, I ain't gonna. But then, like, yeah, at some point it's just like, there's not really much else to use, which is gonna be a sad day. Because, for one thing, I'm gonna start getting less and less players. The further I move up, I'm gonna start getting less and less players, and it's gonna be less and less entertaining. For everybody involved. And for another thing, the moment I get Surgery Eclipse, everybody's gonna stop watching the free-to-play account. I already know that. Like, I'm not stupid. Everybody stopped watching Cobb as soon as he bought Surge. And, he also bought, Volti, he also bought Dreadnought. Like, people just stopped watching. It's like, oh, because he has OP stuff that I don't have, therefore he's not worth watching, right? Or those videos aren't worth watching. The same thing went for Scape's free-to-play account. He got Eclipse and everyone lost their minds. Everyone lost their minds because they didn't have Eclipse, but Scape did, so therefore nothing that he did mattered to them, right? And I already know that that's exactly what's going to happen. Like, as soon as I get one of those mechs, it's just GG. And I would only ever use this account at that point. I'd have to start a new one or something if I wanted to continue, like, a series that people would actually watch. You're thinking of taking Redeemer to 6 stars. I wouldn't do it. Definitely don't do it right now. Also, don't spam, right? Why don't people like to watch Surgery Eclipse? Because it's a thing that they don't have, right? Like, nobody wants to sit... Like, if I'm making a free-to-play... like, if I'm giving advice or something, right? And I'm giving advice related to free-to-play account. Pretty much nobody cares about advice related to things that they don't own. And especially something that they're probably not going to have for a really long time because those 2 mechs cost so much. And yeah, I could probably make 1 or 2 videos being like, oh, my free-to-play account has this thing now, it's OP, and those 2 videos would probably get good views, but everything between them probably wouldn't. Because it's just a matter of, like, what do people have, right? Do you think the epic ability cooldown is worth 800 acorns? Isn't it 600? It's not. You can't buy cooldown and duration for acorns. Wait, why? Where would you get it from? Where are you getting that from? Like, where would you get it for 800 acorns? But they're free to play? Yeah, but, like, it doesn't matter. Like, people know that you're supposed to go for it, and even then, like, do I want to be using them? No, not really. I think and a large part of, like, the advice is just how to get those things, and then after you get those things, it kind of doesn't matter what you do. Right? Like, realistically. You can kind of figure it out from there without much trouble. So to me, along with the fact that because, like, they cost 10,000 acorns, how many people end up saving up 10,000 acorns now? As soon as they have 600 acorns, they're asking whether or not they should spin an event crate or buy an epic implant. Like, they're spending it faster than they can get it. Most players are, anyway. Not everybody, but most. So nobody ends up with 10,000 acorns, really. Like, not very many people. But yeah, I mean, like, for me, it's like, especially if you're getting into, like, the legendary super sweaty meta stuff, like, I may as well just make something related to max level, because that's essentially what their goal is, right? Nobody's using Panther or Aegis at max level, right? Or, like, in a maxed competitive environment. So these, you need a bit more of, like, a specific... Like, these are a bit more specific. This is the sort of thing that's, like, everybody uses it, but nobody really tells you how to use it, or, like, you don't really know how to use it based on endgame competitive gameplay. There's plenty of Surge gameplay out there, or Surge whatever. I don't think I need to do that. Even if I were to get it. So I don't know exactly what would happen with this account after that happened. I'd make a few videos, but I pretty much guarantee most everybody would lose interest. It's 1:15 a.m. for you? Okay, well, fair enough. Take care. Thank you for being here. You got a legendary Volti implant from the free crate. It's free scrap. Why not rank 4 Guardian now? Why should I? Is there a reason that I should? A few days ago, I got Legendary Hellfire Reload. The next day, I got Orion Shield Pierce. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I think I saw that in Discord, the Orion Shield Pierce. You can get that for 600 Acorns, but it's, I mean, you saved 600 Acorns. I'm like, oh yeah, brother. From your Gear Hub quests, what about it? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, sorry. You'd say Overdrive or Over Viper? I mean, I made a weapon tier list, so you could just reference that if you want to know my opinion on weapons and how they compare to each other. If you have a more specific question, then I might answer it on stream, but like I've already answered that question in a video, so there's no point in me highlighting it. Korean's great with the implant. Yeah, I considered getting the implant. There was a time when I was like, you know what, I might rank this up to get 20 energy. I could use the Graviton beams on it, and then I might also get the implant. But right now, I'm kind of probably more inclined to do the Juggernaut, because at least the Juggernaut I could put mods on. I have a decent chunk of mod parts just sitting around that I can't use on anything except a Lancer. And pretty much no matter what I do with this Lancer, this shield's not going to be strong, right? So that's kind of annoying to me. Free-to-play implant and mod guide. I plan on... I say I plan on, but like I already have in the making, like, the script part of the recording, the idea for an implant guide and a mod guide. Just full across the board. And not just for free-to-play, but for everybody. The implant one's going to be first, because that applies to everybody. The mod one is a little bit more niched, but I have it, like I have the notes for them. There's a lot of things that I need to do. Like I need to make notes for, just as an example, like the implant one. I have an entire list of every single mech, every single weapon, all of the implants that they have, and which ones are the best, like ordered in order of which ones are the best, with markings that kind of determine which rarities it has, and which implants are worth getting and which implants aren't worth getting. So like it's a stupid amount of time that goes into just the notes for certain things, let alone, you know, then the general script, and then recording it, and then editing it. Editing it usually takes longer than anything else. Your content will always be a good watch, 100%. Well, I appreciate that. And there's always some people that'll watch pretty much anything that I make, even like I uploaded like different game videos on different games, and people watched it. Some people watched it, but overall, it's just not good for my channel, right? Cause like at the moment, my typical view count, like on any given video, yeah, I'm gonna start a battle. I don't wanna wait too long. I can talk about this while I'm playing. People are probably getting bored. Oh. Who's this? Boot device. Okay. Who's the other guy? Maverick? Why isn't he using Maverick as his profile picture? Maverick's a bot name, I think. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like my typical view count on any given video is like 6K-ish. I would consider 6K to be kind of bad, actually. But and even though there's like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people at this point who would watch pretty much anything I upload, and that's a lot of people, and I very much appreciate them. 2,000 to 3,000 views for my channel is pretty bad. And so essentially what happens is, like, if my videos start getting way less views than normal, then YouTube is like, oh, okay, this guy's videos are crap now. So it just doesn't promote it, like, it doesn't really promote any of them. And it was Maverick. I was correct. Look at that. It seemed... Maverick is a bot name, isn't it? You know, maybe I'm just straight tripping. It seemed the least bot name out of all of them, anyway. Bring Graviton, Panther, and Hangar Showdown. Yeah, I did bring it, but it's not one that I really like to use on most maps, most Hangar Showdown maps. Gradual damage, like really anything like that, even minigun, right? Gradual damage weapons like that don't do well in a 2v2 Hangar Showdown type situation. They're better for situations like this, where it's like you wall off that area right there, and then you just rain fire. This is actually probably like the best map for Graviton Panther, hands down. And so in a situation like this, where it's like there's other people to kind of cover, it's a bit more team-oriented. People are not necessarily rushing you constantly. In a 2v2 deathmatch, like, people know where you are, probably, at all times. And they're within, most of the time, within dash distance of you, pretty much always. So it's just, yeah, it doesn't end up working out. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Oh, I missed. Also, why does he have... Do you have RPG on that? I swear he had RPG on that. Bro's getting cooked by that shadow. You're so gonna get Orion after we're done. You don't even have it? That's... It's actually crazy. You don't even have it. Also, I just realized... I'm sorry, what? The Hellfire Shadow was the player, dude. I thought that was a bot. I thought didn't even cross my mind that there was a possibility. Also, yeah, you did have RPG. Didn't even cross my mind that there was a possibility that that Hellfire Shadow was the guy and not a bot. That's crazy. I need to see this. That's incredible. I want this right now. See, this is the sort of thing that I'd want to get. I'd want to use this. Like, it's gotta be hilarious. And there's certain things where it's like, you never really know if you upgrade them enough early on. Like, obviously, nobody at my SP should be upgrading a Paragon. But if you upgrade it right from the beginning, like, is it really good? Same thing with, like, Juggernaut, right? Like, could it continue to be good even at this SP, right? Because if it's something that could continue to be good even here where I'm at, then that's something that's potentially worth investing in when you're newer, not necessarily when you're at my SP. Like, if you didn't invest in it already, then you probably shouldn't start. But if you're a newer player, you should maybe consider investing in it. Same thing, it's like Lancer, right? Absolutely ridiculous. I did not think Lancer was going to be this good. But here I am with a maxed Lancer, and I would not take this thing out. Like, I'd take out my Zephyr before I took out my Lancer, probably. I'd take out my Panther before I took out my Lancer. I'd say, like, my weakest builds... My weakest build is probably Panther, because it's very map dependent. And then Zephyr, because it's very situational as well. And then... probably the Aegis, and then the Rogue and Orion's obviously my best one. You just saw me get, like, absolutely fry the entire enemy team with that. You listen a lot to get your perspective on gameplay, even if you don't reply. That's fair. That's fair. I do, like, I try to say a lot of things where it's like, if people are paying attention, then, like, I cover most things. I've said, like, any type of advice that I could give right now, I've probably said at least once somewhere else. But, you know, obviously not everybody's gonna watch every single video and every single stream, so that's kind of, yeah. I totally understand if people don't know, but certain things, but, you know. Talking about implant. Better weapon without implant or weapons with one implant? It depends on the mechs. There's some mechs that require a lot of implants, or really prefer to have a lot of implants, and there's some mechs that don't care. Surge is a mech that you want at least 2 implants, but ideally you want 3. You could even use 4. A lot of people are just using Revoke or Surge without any weapon implants. They're just using all ability implants, which makes sense. But it really does really well the more implants it has, essentially. But then there's something like Aegis, where it's like the only good implant realistically is cooldown. Yeah, I saw that. The only good implant is cooldown, and so like you could use any weapon, like any weapon that requires 3 implants. It doesn't really matter. Right? It'll still perform basically the same. I'm trying to think of a more meta version of that comparison. Eclipse. Eclipse can make good use out of it, ability implants, but it doesn't really need them. Its ability is perfectly fine as it is. You shouldn't have got that close, buddy. Guess I forgot there's a cooldown modifier. What are you doing, pal? I'll absolutely beam the crap out of you. This is like the 3rd time I'm gonna absolutely destroy this guy. I feel bad for him. Like, clearly he doesn't really know how to counter me. I'm sorry, dude. Also, my ammo. It's ridiculous. I pretty much... Like, I'm never out of ammo with this weapon, essentially. Let's see. Can I use this... Panther teammate? Barrier. Hello. Secret guy back there. Okay. I don't want to overextend myself here. Because I don't have a whole lot of... Oh, nice. Thanks, bot. Alright. I'll use that for my bot teammates. Yeah. Could you get out of the way, please? That'd be great. Yeah. If I don't have enough ammo to build up Implosion, then my damage output's like kind of crap. So I need to be pretty careful about that. Okay, yeah, he got me. Rank 6 Fragment Gun 8. Jeez, dude. Fragment Guns kind of slap, though. Oh, nice. That's lucky. Better for Overdrive or cooldown or burn? Probably burn. They nerfed Disc Launcher so much, yeah, they did. That's why I kind of don't want them to nerf anything else. Cause like, do we try like we can all agree that Revoker 100% could use a nerf. I think everybody can agree with that. But the follow-up question is then, do we trust them to nerf it fairly? I don't think we do, right? We could probably all collectively agree on that as well. So at that point, do we want them? Do we actually want them to nerf it? I don't know. You don't have pilots for your 3 mechs, and you have 3608 SP. Should you buy rare pilot? You should not have no pilots. You should always have some kind of pilot. Epic or rare, whichever. I'm currently using, I mean at this SP, right? I'm currently using 2 rare pilots, and 2 of them are unspecialized. This one and this one. So I'm sacrificing a bit of damage, but a lot of your damage output, like a good chunk of your damage output, comes from your pilots. Close quarters weapon damage, 33%, along with 8% on the Revoker itself. So it's like 40%, over 40% of my damage from this build over 40% comes from just just having the pilot on there. The pilot just existing on the build is 40% of my damage. That's like almost... It's almost the same as if I just removed like the Revoker 6, right? Like the Revoker 6 is essentially 40% of my energy capacity. So you not having a pilot is basically the same as if I just ran a single Revoker 10 Zephyr. Like, it's not that good. Probably nerf devs think nerfing into the ground. Well, yeah. I don't know. They've only nerfed things like 3 times, so... You think they're finally getting how OP Eclipse is? They even added it to the recent video about the new mech. Yeah, but then the new mech still doesn't affect Eclipse. I guess it's a bug, but it's annoying. They know how OP it is. They know how OP everything is. And that's something that really bothers me, is that it's not just a matter of how much are people complaining about it. It's not just a matter of are people saying, like, do people come over here and tell us that we should be nerfing it or that it's too OP or whatever? It has nothing to do with that. It's the fact that they have the numbers of how many MVPs each weapon gets, how many kills it gets, everything, the percentage of damage that you're dealing, everything about every single build that you have. They have the numbers on all of it. They know exactly how often I spawn my Orion, and they know how many kills I usually get with it. Obviously, they don't like, you know, do anything with my stats specifically, but it's like the player base as a collective. They know that Revoker deals probably like 90% of the total damage in the game. They're fully aware. They just don't do anything about it. If you don't have a single pilot, you haven't used the promo code. Yeah, that's true, actually. I would love if they just introduced new things or mechanics for nerfing old things. But it's kind of hard to do with weapons, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Kind of. And they also don't want to, like, directly nerf it too badly, because people would be really upset that they spent all that time, all their resources, and potentially real money investing into the things that were really good just for them to end up not being really good. Like, you want them to be usable, but you don't necessarily want them to be OP, right? Your Revokers definitely need a range nerf, to be honest. See, what I've said for a while is that... I'll run another one, but I'm probably gonna rank up my Juggernaut after this. Is Pineapple still here? You'd want to see them. So the thing, for a while I was saying, like, I don't think a range nerf would do anything, because the main problem is Revoker on Surge, and Surge would not suffer at all from a Revoker range nerf. But the more I think about it, and the more I realize what's making all these new weapons bad, like Reaver, for example, and the other one, Berserker, as well. So the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's not a matter of making Revoker worse, it's about allowing other weapons to be better. And the other weapons will never be better so long as Revoker has that kind of range. I am cooked. Yep. All of them are marked. If I had one-shot that Zephyr, things could have been different. But yeah. Hey, buddy. Don't do that. What build? It's a Carbine and a Disruptor. Hold on, what? Man. That's wow. You already got the Graviton in the previous video? Yeah. This is the first time I'm streaming with it, though. Hold on. Yep. You know, I'm not really sure that the second dome was necessary. Then again, I guess there is a cooldown modifier, so can't hurt. Never mind, it can hurt, because we have no protection now. Is he gonna dump this immediately? If he dumps this immediately, that's so cringe. Yeah, it's back there. Yeah, wait. I wanted to just make sure that I didn't get freaking clapped by this man. Yeah, I got him. That's an outlaw that he had. He crashed that guy from range. I have not used this build in a minute. I was using pod guns on my Panther for the longest time. Using Viper on the Aegis. This build still absolutely cooks, though. Revoker Panther. As a bot, so that kind of makes sense, but still, it's funny. Oh, my man's got a pod gun stalker. I always love to see the other players who are using really interesting free-to-play builds. Because the guys who just have, like, low-rank eclipses and with revokers or whatever, it's like, that's kind of cringe, but... I know why they do it, obviously, but... still just, like, not very interesting. Yeah, I bet you have that bug where it's not gonna... The match is technically over, it just isn't gonna count. 50% cooldown makes Lancer abilities come back so fast. Yeah, that's true. Revoker needs a reload time when it gets hit from Guardian. Okay, well, if Guardian was the counter to Revoker, then there would still be no counter to Revoker, because Guardian isn't surviving nothing. Your H&R Destroyer? GG. You did get disc 12 on your free-to-play account, and 2 days later they nerfed to 6 feet under the ground. Yeah. For some people, like, that's kind of unavoidable, though. Like, if they're gonna nerf it at all, some people are going to get it right before they nerf it, which is, like, that's not great, but what are you gonna do, right? I mean, what they could have done was not nerf it so bad, but... You know. I've stopped caring when people cry about Revokers. The second they change it, those same people will just cry about the next meta. It'll never change. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. Some people certainly will. But at the same time, like... Isn't that kind of the point, though? For, like, if there's gonna be an egregious meta, should it be the same egregious meta for years and years and years? No, I think it should change just to keep things different, right? Not necessarily because the next meta is gonna be better, but just so that you're not using the exact same thing over and over and over again, always. There's at least some reason to change things up every now and again. Because, like, I know it sounds good in theory to have the meta stay the same forever, and you never have to worry about getting any new meta stuff. But that's so boring. You absolutely will. Like, you'll leave. You'll get bored after a while, right? What do you say to Howler? What do you mean? Like, do I think it's good? No, not really. Mech Arena should cost $13 and have no pay-to-win stuff. It'd still take forever and a day to get to tier 7 and whatever. And like actually get a lot of the, like save up the A coins for all that stuff. You know. I think the reason new weapons don't meet the expectations is because everyone just wants Revoker. Well, a lot of people think of it in terms of meta. And they think of it in terms of meta mostly because the people who are spending to buy the new stuff probably already spent to buy the old meta stuff, right? So, you know, to a large extent, it's more interesting for the spenders to have something that's like meta compatible. But also just in general, like you don't want a new release weapon to be just objectively worse than what's already in the game. You want it to fill like a specific niche, and there's a place for it, right? It's not necessarily the best weapon, but there's a place for it. And I think Revoker is obnoxious enough to where it completely flattens anything that tries to fill even a mid-range role. Anything that's like 80 meters and lower, a Revoker build's always going to counter it. Because Revoker has 40 meters and a Dash Mech has 40 meters as well, at least 40 meters. So you can easily close 80 meters distance with a Revoker Dash Mech. And so it basically, yeah. I mean, myself, I don't think Revoker is the problem. I think Dash Mechs are the problem. I think they've always been the problem, but they're not going to get rid of Dash Mechs. What's the easiest tier to finish? Tier 1. Yeah, these other guys. Reaver would have a place where it can counter Revokers on non-dash mechs, but sadly they have the same range. Well, Reaver has 60, and Revoker has 60 with the implant. So long as Reaver uses the implant, it's technically outside of Revoker range. But yeah, like that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like most Revoker mechs are on dash, or most Revoker builds are on dash mechs. And so even at 80 meters, you could easily close that distance with the dash mech. So it essentially, like, I think most of the problem is dash mechs, personally. I think they're the reason that Revoker is so ridiculous. If dash mechs weren't around, then you'd still have a really strong close quarters weapon, but yeah, I don't think it'd really be obnoxious the way that it is. And you might say like, oh well, just Revoker Eclipse is super OP. Like, you know how many mechs can absolutely brick an Eclipse? Like most legendary mechs have more HP and or firepower than Eclipse does. The Eclipse is specifically used for anti-surge, pretty much. Hemlock as well. I mean, Hemlock is another one. Some mechs just probably shouldn't be in the game. We'll say that. But the fact that they are, it's like they're never gonna get rid of them. So like, what do you do at that point, right? How do you deal with it after that? I'm surprised I got that guy. Is that a Seeker? It's gotta be. Uh-oh. Oh, no. It's a that. I don't know what that is. What it is. What it is. He's got a Revoker Surge, I think. That's a he's just standing there. Oh, never mind, he's back. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna shoot at him if he's just chilling. I'm gonna take the easy kill. That's not good. I'm gonna be cooked here. Oh, thanks. Oh, yo, wait, you're in my match. I don't think I invited you. Hi. I just realized, I'm sorry. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Eclipse also makes guided weapons useless, not only Surge, yeah. Well, I think guided weapons would be a little too good if there weren't stealth mechs like that. Like, there needs to be good stealth and shield mechs, otherwise you're just, like, constantly pinned from helix tracks. As, like, at one point in time, that's basically what the game was. Just constantly pinned by helix tracks. And you definitely don't want that. Just freaking intercepted his 2 rockets. Oh, yeah, whatever. We need beacons right now. That Zephyr's still back there, huh? Unless he spawned somewhere else. Did you kill him? You must have killed him when he respawned. Or did he spawn back there? Oh, good. There's another enemy somewhere. That's 6-star Ember 8s, yeah. I'm not really surprised. And again, like, if you want, like I was saying for the mechs, like, if you want similar performance, if you're going down a grade, you need to go up a rank. So, like, normally you'd use rank 5 legendary weapons. Or at least I would. So if you're going down to epic, you should make it a rank higher. So it should be like rank 6 epic weapons. If you want roughly the same performance. Next free-to-play mech, it better be Soulless. Bro, I hope not Soulless. Not that it would matter a whole lot, it's tier 8. But no, it's Seeker, which is arguably worse, I suppose. Would it be worth it to get Ember Guns? No, I don't think so. Like, mechs and weapons are very different. Mechs and weapons are very different. Like, the mechs you're using for the abilities, and they have unique abilities, and they do different things. And for really low-tier mechs like Lancer, which is not particularly unique or particularly helpful. I mean, it is helpful in the fact that you can abuse certain maps. But I can use mods on it, because it's really low tier, and so I can use mods on it. But, in terms of weapons, like, there's not really any weapons that I would say are not worth getting strictly because of the price, right? Like, any weapon that's bad is a weapon that's bad. And I guess you could mitigate that with upgrades. I definitely don't think you'd do Ember Gun. Ember Gun would be the worst choice. Because Revoker just, like, it serves the same function as Revoker. Like, you would use it in the same situations, and Revoker's clearly better. So you probably shouldn't use Ember Gun. But, like, maybe some other epic weapon? Nade Launcher, perhaps, but I don't know. That was a close one. Not really sure what epic weapons I think are, like, potentially worth ranking up, like, if you could. No close quarters ones, obviously, because Revoker's just, like, you're cooked. Helix Track is probably the only one. Fuse Mortar, nah. Helix Track is better than Fuse Mortar, anyway. Nade Launcher or Cryo Launcher, perhaps. It's probably, like, mostly just Helix Track, to be honest. Because everything else, there's just a legendary version of it, and you may as well just get that. Right? Like Missile Rack, you may as well just get Storm Rack. Full Tank RPG is I don't know why you'd do that. Close quarters are all a bad idea when Revoker exists. Quantum gun is, I guess, sort of unique, but I mean, you could use railgun as your sniper, first off. And second off, quantum gun mostly functions as an assault weapon, in which case you just get Overdriver, which is the best free-to-play, or the best credit-based weapon here. The best assault weapon, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Helix Rack is probably like the only one. As of right now, Javelin Rack's actually more cost-effective. Because it costs half as much. It costs half as much as Helix Rack does, and it's only like mildly worse. So you could just you could just upgrade it for as much as you could upgrade Helix Rack. You'd upgrade Javelin Rack way more. But once they reduce the price of epic stuff, then Helix Rack would I'd probably see a lot of it. Is 10 key Fortune Vault more logical than 20 key? Yeah, the 10 key is the best. The 21's kind of a waste. Using Ember isn't a choice, it's a feeling. Okay. The feeling of you getting violated by Revokers constantly. We get Voltaic RPG to feel the pain of the peasants. Okay, you know what? That's fair. You would get it for that reason. Strike Rocket. Yeah, but like free-to-play players can't get Strike Rocket, right? So they would get Helix Rack instead. So it would actually make sense to get Helix Rack under those circumstances, because there isn't an alternative that they could get. Revoker Scouts for days, yeah, always. I mean, it's essentially the end-all be-all of weapons, right? Where the devs focus on ticking the checkbox of the LGBTs and not fixing the balance issues. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. They didn't do that recently, did they? I mean, they do a lot of things. And they've already said that they don't plan on rebalancing anything. So it's not like they're ignoring, it's not like they're purposely putting off the balance changes, it's just that they don't want to. Like, they're not going to at all. It's literally just a matter of they don't want to buff stuff or they don't want to nerf stuff. Which I disagree with. I think that they should, but that's, I mean, what am I gonna do about it? That's just my opinion, right? Can't force that on them. Yo, Nightmare, I already have you. If you're in the clan, then you don't need to be on my friends list. This guy. 211 in his clan tag. Very good. You like Stormrax, but you haven't tried Overdriver, so you can't say. That's fair. Overdriver is better than Viper, I believe. I mean, you'd know that if you watch my weapon tier list, but... Isn't reload time is so long for Stormrack? Yeah. But like buying Missile Rack just to have 1 second shorter reload time, and then to probably not use it for very long anyway, like you don't really need 2 missile weapons. Stormrack does more damage, so it's more likely that you actually kill stuff. And if you have a weapon that's going to require even like even like 6 or 7 seconds of reload time. Like, you need to make sure that it kills things. Oh, that was just lucky. That was just dumb luck. His shield went down just at the right time. Yeah, I was just waiting for that to happen. There's a Chungus back there. Oh. He's getting violated. The new weapon is just a better repeater. I think some people took personal offense when I implied that possibly it could be better than Revoker on certain things. I didn't imply it, I stated it. But I think it's true. Not on meta things. But I think there are certain mechs that would actually do better with Reaver than it would with Revoker. Should you get the crit infused mortar? No, probably not. It's so map dependent. And I don't even think it's that good. If you get anything, just get Helix Rack. If you already have it, then don't get anything. If you don't have it, you could probably just skip it. It's like I had Helix Rack in my hangar for a little while, but I don't really ever use it. So you could skip it pretty easily. The real question is which one's the more ASMR worthy. That's fair. Would there be potentially a legendary version of Orion and Aegis? I wouldn't know what their plans are with that. I'm actually surprised that they haven't made a legendary Tengu by now. Because that's like a fan favorite mech, bro. They kind of butchered the legendary version of Guardian, but still, I think they could make a lot of money off that. So I'm surprised they haven't done it by now. Get both Reaver and Revoker so that you're future-proofed versus one getting nerfed. I mean, under regular circumstances, maybe. Oh, the game's bugged. But the Plarium's like specifically said that like they don't want to nerf things or buff things. They really don't want to nerf or buff things. So eventually Revoker will fall from the meta because there's no chance that it stays meta literally forever. Right? The weapon metas usually last around like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Not that we have a lot of source data to go off of, but still. Sad part is Reaver also needs to chew through Galvanic before doing any significant damage. Well, so does Revoker to some regard. To some degree. But it's more. Yeah. It is more. I think. Right? Because it's like 70% of 50%. How much is that? 0.5 times 0.7. 35. Only moderately more. So 35% of Reaver's damage would be absorbed by Galvanic Hull. I think, right? Now I'm questioning myself. A third of Revoker's damage is absorbed by Galvanic Hull. Because half of the damage that it deals from the back, which is 2/3, so it ends up being 1/3. So I think it's pretty similar. But the thing with Reaver is the RPM to chew through mods, and that's the main thing. It definitely doesn't have the DPS, But the main, I think one of the major reasons that Revoker is so good is because it can shred mods extremely fast. I've done the math. Double Reaver 16s should be able to 1 mag a maxed perimeter multilayer on something like Eclipse. And a mag only takes 1.4 seconds to unload, which I think is probably faster than Revoker could do it. Maybe not. I haven't done like an actual comparison. Frank 6 Juggernaut. Oh yeah, I should. Normally, I do not. Let me start up OBS. Maybe I'll just record this part. I don't know why didn't it shut down properly? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Do I? Yeah, I could just do it like this. You gotta go. Alright, Mech. Take care. Revoker damage laughing at every weapon in the game. Yeah, pretty much. It's almost identical to Revokers in terms of percentage, yeah. That's why I was thinking, like, it's not a big deal, the fact that it has that, because Revoker has something similar. But even still, like again, Reaver has nothing on Revoker DPS. Reaver's DPS is slightly worse than miniguns. Like, I say slightly, but it's like 20%. It's a decent chunk. Its DPS is worse than miniguns. Revoker's DPS, point blank, is like, I think 3 times that of miniguns. So it's going to be like 4 times less damage. But if it can shoot through perimeter multilayer specifically faster, I don't think it matters about the damage. I think the damage would be more or less irrelevant if it can shoot through perimeter multilayer faster. I think some mechs, again, not all of them, not a 24 energy mech. I think you'd need to have it on a 32 energy heavy mech in order for it to work. And even still, like, you know, something like a dash mech, something like a Surge that can EMP people, like, obviously, like, Revoker's just the obvious choice. But for some mechs that want to use something that's like slightly more ranged, that's similar to Revoker but slightly more ranged, Reaver might be a better option. So it could be a decent weapon for, like, Deathwalker, for example. Some people use Revoker on Deathwalker. Do you withhold opening boxes for extra loot or just refuse? Look, okay. The reason that I don't open them is because I'm just used to it. And I promise it does not trigger me whatsoever. I know it triggers a lot of people seeing that I have unopened crates here. I don't even notice it. That's the reason. It's just like, I don't have any reason to open them, so, like, why bother, right? That's literally the reason. I don't really, like, it's just that I don't really care. Once I need credits for something specific, then, you know, if I don't have enough credits, I'll open all my crates to see how many credits I get from it, but if I have everything I need, if I don't need anything, may as well just keep it. You gonna save blueprints for Overdriver 10? That would take a long time. I only have like 9 blueprints for Overdriver 10, I think. So Reaver could be used as a brawler weapon instead of minigun, because minigun makes you turn slower, yeah. I think on a mech like Vortex, for example, which again, is like not a meta mech, but I think on Vortex, Reaver is probably superior to minigun. That's just a guess. Again, I don't really know. Okay. I am going to rank up my Juggernaut. Because I've been meaning to for the longest time. And I know it's going to cost me quite a lot of A-coins that I'm not going to have enough for Cheetah potentially, but whatever. Whatever. I don't know how much they're reducing it by. But I'm going to rank them up, and now it's 18 energy, but then it should cost 90,000 credits to get to level 7. If my sheet was correct, which it is. And then another bunch of A-coins. And now it has 20 energy, 211 backwards HP. This is the most HP that I think any of my mechs have. And I can equip mods on it. Which means perimeter multi-layer, I'm going to buy this. Right? Buy that. I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to upgrade it again. I have plenty of basic parts, so I don't really need that. I'll probably upgrade it to level 4. I'll have to do the math later. Because something that you should do, like a good practice for you, if you have mods on anything, especially if you have low level mods on certain things, like my Lancer, for example, has the perimeter multi-layer. What you should do is you should just like take an arbitrary weapon that you typically get hit by that has like somewhat low individual projectile damage, like pod gun, for example. So my damage per shot is like 2,000, including the pilot and the implant. It's like, you know, 10%, 30, yeah, 40 extra, 40%-ish extra on top of that. So it's like close to 3,000 damage per shot, per pod. So then, what I would do in that case is I would try to make sure that my individual layers have over 3,000 HP each. Because that would mean that something, an arbitrary weapon with relatively low individual damage per shot, won't be able to one-shot each layer with its projectiles. It'll take multiple. And so that it at least doubles the amount of time that it takes to get through, or doubles the amount of time and the amount of effort that it takes to get through my permanent multi-layer, significantly reducing the amount of damage that I take. So how much I upgrade this by kind of depends on how much damage I think I'm probably going to be taking. Let's grab this. And this. Did I get both of them? I can claim that. I was gonna claim that, but I can just save that for tomorrow. I can get the blueprints for that tomorrow. I don't really need to get it right now. I'm stacking up some fortune keys, though. I might save up to like 100 or something. BMP made a video of using like 300 fortune keys on a free play account. Should get grabbed. Well, it's 9 hours. I wouldn't wait it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. BMP made a video on like 300 fortune keys on a free play account, I believe. And because of that, if I were to make like a similar video, but I only used like 100 fortune keys, that would be pretty objectively worse than his video. And I don't want to make a video like that, right? So like my goal, if I have a video idea, my goal is always to like make sure like mine is the most interesting. Out of all the people who made a video with that idea, mine is either the most accurate, the best, like the most well-made, or the most interesting. Ideally, all three. So because I know BMP already made that, I'm probably not going to make an individual video with anything to do with my fortune keys, but I'll just stack them up just to see what happens with it, I guess. Maybe I'll make a short or something, I don't know. I can save my... anyway, yeah, I have 20 energy. I have a 20 energy freaking Juggernaut now. And so... Wait, do I have any skins for it? No, not good ones, anyway. And so... this is an unspecialized pilot, which is kind of annoying. Duration, I don't think I want. I'll take mag size over duration. Duration's actively bad on Juggernaut most of the time, because your ability goes down early most of the time. Duration would only help me if I activated my ability and nobody shot at me until after my ability ended. Then having extra duration would mean that my shield is up for a little bit longer, and I can absorb that damage that I took late. And that's kind of the only scenario in which duration would actually benefit me, which is, I don't think, super likely, so I'm not going to bother with it. Anyway, oh wow, I'm up to like 47. That's a lot of SP. I have over 1,000 SP on that build. That's so much. Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah, the Lancers actually got more. I'm not surprised. I'm going to play this solo. And I'm going to play this solo just so that I can get an idea of like all the, of like how good it does without necessarily being carried by teammates or having teammates steal all of my kills or whatever. So basically you'd one-up him and do 310 keys? I could, but that would be such a weird number. So I wouldn't do that number specifically. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, it's this guy. This ain't gonna end well, folks. I'm pretty sure he has Gemini. Potentially multiple of them. And that's not gonna be good, but we have a Juggernaut. And so it will be fine. Because it's OP, clearly. Everybody uses Juggernaut. Always. Everybody. This guy doesn't use Juggernaut, and so he's dead. See what happens? See what freaking happens? Oh. My shield's almost gone already. That's a Storm Rack. That's a Storm Rack I got hit by, so I can just take this angle here and not get hit by him at all. Wait. Is it Gemini something, though? Maybe I get hit by somebody else. I always assume when I see Gemini, I just assume that that was a player that has it. I feel like it's a safe assumption. Because players at this SP use hella Geminis, dude. It's wild. Also, I'd like to point out that there's a 50% cooldown modifier going on right now, and it still takes me like 10 seconds for my ability to come back. That's so sad. That is so sad. Hey there, how you doing? Piece of crap. That's what I freaking thought. Yeah. Okay, so he does have the Gemini. I am correct to assume that the Gemini is the player. You should always assume that. Okay, boy. I shouldn't have wasted my ability, but it doesn't really matter because the cooldown's really short. Oh, I missed that shot. Got him with the mark down. Go, what? Oh. Really? Someone else got him at least. Stop. I don't know how much his thing is charged up by. I don't think I want to know, though. How much okay, we've got decent influence here. We have the influence advantage. He has pod gun now. Are there any cheetah mines on here? I have to watch for cheetah mines. It's not a thing that I usually have to watch out for. I have to watch out for it now. Just barely didn't take it. That's wild. Okay. Oh, great. Fine, freaking tastic. Okay, I knew my Lancer could at least absorb one of those abilities, but I'm pretty much cooked now. Pretty much. I am cooked now, I think. You feel bad for Panther? Replaced by Juggernaut, I know. Don't worry, it won't be long term. It's just for fun and to see how good it is. I doubt I would, but like I guess technically it's possible that maybe I replace my Aegis with it. Like if it ends up being really good, but I don't think it's gonna be that good. Oh, okay. I thought maybe I can get him with the radius, but no. Oh, 16. Oh, it's rank 5 legendary. That's ridiculous. I don't even have a rank 5 mech, let alone legendary one. That's not true, actually. I have 2 rank 6 mechs. But they're not exactly legendary. At least I wouldn't call them that. Bah! Cut that out. He's dead, but so am I, and they're taking that, and the only thing I have left is Zephyr. And the player still has some left, right? He has, I think, at least 2 mechs left. Probably 3. My guess is that none of the bots have killed him. And I'm gonna bet that that's... Well, that's a sniper pilot. An Orion? No, what kind of speed is that? What was that? It was a sniper pilot. And my initial guess was like an Eclipse, right? Because I'm pretty sure he has one and I had a Zephyr. I don't know what that was, but I don't know if I care. I should have waited for that. Nah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, I have plenty of crates, but it's just nice to... I think it's generally a good idea to, like, you know, save certain things. Gather blueprints for the next day, for the next day's, like, daily task or whatever. If you ever want to stash crates for some reason, then, you know, you can use less of them each day by just, like, saving different things for later down the road. For me, it doesn't really matter. It's just, I don't know, it's a habit, I guess. We're going to try that again. I think it's pretty much just as OP as Panther. What do you think? I think it's... Hey, 4,700 SP, but no legendary mechs. I'm more concerned how people have less than 4,000 SP, but their whole hangar is legendary mechs. Like, how does that even work, bro? And they're all rank 4, too, right? Alright. Let's freaking go. Get man W. What in the world name is that? What in the world name is that? Okay. My shield layers are gone already. I might need to upgrade this one more time, the shield. Don't necessarily want to, but I don't think it's that expensive, to be fair. I know my ability shield isn't going to be useful until my mod shield is down. So I'm mostly just activating the ability shield in preparation for probably taking damage past my mod shield, but I didn't end up needing it. There's a cooldown modifier that's not, like, it doesn't really matter. This guy. Most likely, I don't want to get crashed, really. It would be fantastic if that didn't happen. Okay, thanks. That's great. I appreciate your contribution. Don't do that. Don't do that. What is the player doing? Not a lot. Oh, he's back there. Okay, he's good. Blockade multi-layer. Blockade multi-layer. On what? I haven't a clue. Assault pilot. Well, it's just a stock pilot, so realistically it could be anything. Ow! Took those to the freaking dome, dude. No. I know Voltaic RPG's OP, but that doesn't clear you to shoot me with them. Okay. Like, I can use this in situations that I wouldn't really want to use a Panther, because Panther's so fragile, and its barrier doesn't really help against multiple angles for the most part. So I can actually see this being useful, more useful than a Panther in some situations. Would I recommend other people use it? No, probably not, but it's funny anyway. Stop them. What are you? It's a Salvor. And the weapon that he has, I'm going to take a guess, probably Viper. No, Chover Driver. Oh, no. No, no, no. He takes down my shield so quickly, bro. I'm so cooked. It's rank 6! What? That's ridiculous, bro. You understand how much of a freaking performance gap that is? Get out of here. I wonder what rank that was. I don't know. Once you get Viper 8, you'll use them on Juggernaut first. Do you have Overdriver? Because Overdriver is kind of better. Like, the only reason I'd ever recommend people get... that was just habit. I clicked that out of habit. I was gonna save it. Nah, whatever. Okay. The only reason I'd ever tell anybody to get Viper is just because, like, that was the best free-to-play option. But, like, Overdriver's better. You actually have options now. Outside of Carbine. Carbine doesn't really count. And it was 8 coins anyway. Is the cost of epic pilots being reduced too? No. And they've said that specifically, yeah. So pilots and implants, nothing. It's the same thing as what happened to the other stuff. It's just the cost of buying and upgrading. BMP, hello, and thank you. Much appreciate it. Getting close to 21.1. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Dang. Yeah. It'd be nice, but at the same time, like, pilots were already relatively cheap compared to weapons. Like, they double your damage output, and, like, a legendary only costs 3,000 acorns, so I guess I can kind of understand it. But then it's gonna be like, you know, an epic mech's gonna cost about as much as an epic pilot, which is gonna be crazy. You'll face rank 6 mechs when using uncommon mechs at rank 2. You've done so using rank 2 Juggernaut and MD. What were your other mechs? An idea as to why that's happening. I should check its thing right though. It's 5,000. How is this 5,000? 2 rank 6 legendary, a rank 5, and 2 rank 4. Like, all of these should, according to the game, should perform significantly better than what I have. So I don't know, I don't really understand it. The pilots really aren't any worse than mine. Maybe the weapons are low rank? Yeah, some of these weapons are low rank, that might be why. Yeah, that's probably mostly it. Killshot Tanker's Shadow. Well, if the game thought you were tanking, then it's more likely to do that, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, that's not the first time, for anybody who's like, oh, I've gotten that. Like, yeah, obviously. That's not the first time I fought a rank 6 legendary mech. It was just surprising because I don't face them very often. What do you think about the new Seeker skin? It's pretty good. Let's see. Take another look at it. It's definitely better than that one. What's the black one? The black and green one. The one that looks really low res. It's better than that one. Otherwise, I'm not really sure that I'd choose this for much. I usually choose the skins based on what weapon I'm using, and then I just choose whichever skin looks the best with the weapon. So maybe there's some weapons that would be like that. free ones that come with achievements, the blue and purple ones. What about them? Those are bad. The blue and purple ones I think are really bad. I don't like them at all. I know they're terrible. The Solus one looks sick, yeah. The Solus one's the best one, I think. Will you get Cheetah? Hopefully. Oh, let's go. Multiples of peoples. 2v2, it appears. Both in the top 500. Alright, fellas. Are you... Oh, no, man. Oh, man. I was about to ask if he ready. I know he ain't ready. Look at this fool. What are you doing? Hell no, brother. Oh, we so cooked. He's gonna hang in the back the entire time. Probably. Maybe not. What's he doing? He's moving up, I guess. Can't complain too much. He's gonna drop his dome, that's annoying. You already have your barrier down. Chill with the Gemini for like a quarter of a second, maybe. I don't know, buddy. But I feel like you could. I feel like it's not a big deal. Alright, you're good. That's gonna hit me slightly, which is annoying, but 'tis of no concern. I can block most of those Gemini shots if they happen to come my way. Oh. Okay, that's a problem. Yeah, I can beam you in the sky and then just get down when they get close. That's not bad. I can deal with this pretty easily, I think. Just block that with my shield. Nice, and I think I pretty much fully blocked it. Hi, what are you planning on doing? Oh, that. The 6 is maxed. Why though? Where's the kill shot? Ruiner of all things fun. All things cool and all things fun. Boom, boom. Oh, right. Do I die to one ability? I don't think so, but by the time I get up here, he's gonna have it again. Oh, never mind, he gets crashed. That's great. Not that it matters, because he's gonna have it in 2 seconds. And he's gonna get me with it. Yeah. That's annoying, but we have center. Hold on. We do have center. And though I cannot block his thingy thing, it'll go through shields as well. Like you could say like, oh, try blocking out with the shield. It'll just go through shields. Goes through Panther shield as well. However, I can really. Okay, maybe not. I was gonna say I could really hold center a bit, but the bots are having at it. Oh man, what are you doing? Okay, look. If we can just... It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. The bot's gonna... Wait, never mind. The bot's off of it. Why did the bot get off of it? We need the bot to die. We need the bot to... doesn't matter now. No, wait. What's ability? Hold on. Can I just, like, get outside 110 meters and make it stop? I think maybe I could. I don't know. Not really sure. Okay, so this nerd is the last guy alive. And he's dead. We need to go, buddy. He's gone too, but... 'tis of no concern. That's a problem. I think if we hold this, Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Where's my teammate? What's he doing? If we had that blue and he didn't get it white, would we have what? I actually do not know. That was extremely close. I feel like potentially. Potentially, yes. But I'm not sure. I am uncertain. Collapse that real quick. That's not bad, though. It's not bad, though. Will you max out mods on Juggernaut? Probably not, because that would be really expensive. Like, just level 5 is 300. And that's a good chunk of what I have. I would like to save what I have for potentially a good build. Like, if I actually want to create... If I end up going the Surge and Eclipse route, which I know everyone wants me to do, but they secretly don't. They think they want me to. But, like, it would just be boring as soon as I go the Surge and Eclipse route, but... Eventually I will, probably. And when that happens, I'm going to want some mod parts stashed up to get the mods as good as possible, because at that point, it's literally just a matter of who has the higher level mods. Whoever has the higher level mods, because everyone's using Revoker. It's just a matter of, yeah, whoever has higher level mods ends up winning. So I can't, like, I couldn't afford to have even level 5 on, like, an Eclipse if I wanted to brawl with... If I wanted to brawl with a Surge or something. Really couldn't afford to. I'd have to have at least rank 6. Or at least maxed on. Would you replace Gravitons with Overdrivers on Panther? Not on Panther, no. Graviton's good for Panther because it has good range. Overdriver's like it's a minigun replacement, essentially. It's like a decent brawler weapon to do good on Aegis. But Panther really wants to keep distance a bit more than that. And Overdriver has good accuracy, but the projectile speed's really low. So no, I don't think so. Hold on, let me move this over slightly. Yeah. Only focus on Killshot as main target, I should, yeah. Railgun or Tetra Rifle for Orion? I think Railgun's potentially still better. I think so, because its damage is immediate. The problem with Tetra Rifle is that you have a damage delay of, like, I think 3 seconds. You have to charge up your shot. In order to get good damage, you need to charge it up at least twice, which means you don't. It doesn't just mean that you have to fire 2 times. You have to hit 2 times. And so, yeah, I don't know. For something like Orion that specializes in it, it's kind of the same reason that I'm thinking, like, my original analysis was like, okay, Railgun 8 Orion's gonna be really good, but Podgun 8 Orion's probably better. I don't think so anymore, because I'm realizing that this really nice thing about the Railguns on Orion at this SP, or really any SP, is the lack of delay. You stack a ton of damage onto yourself, but if you delay that damage, if there's a delay to your damage, then it kind of doesn't matter. You still probably cooked. XP, hello. How are you? Your battles are getting noticeably harder. No, I'm just facing one guy who has multiple. It's like the same. Like, I just fought that guy twice. The other player, that I fought, right? This guy. He's pretty weak. Like, his SP is high, but his builds are bad. And this is usually what I fight. Like, most of the people that I fight have, like, they usually have higher power hangers. They usually have some things that are, like, ridiculous, like maxed long arm 10s, and that sounds super unfair, but it's like their hanger's not good, so, like, you know that they don't necessarily know what they're doing to some degree. So I can, like, I still have a good chance against them. I don't think that's unfair. You have 1K subs, let's go. Congrats. Gemini or Tetra Rifle Eclipse. That's a tough one. I have no idea. In terms of, like, I assume you mean in terms of, like, absolute late game maxed meta. I've seen some really good performance from Tetra Rifle Eclipse. Gemini is just a generally good weapon. And so that could work as well, but I don't know which one would be better, realistically. Oh yeah, you're right. My teammate. This guy's crazy. He's like a lot of inventory power anyway. I think we know where it went. Bro, what is this? Every single one of his builds is... That's gotta be on purpose. There's no chance. He knows what he's doing, and he's purposely making weird hybrid builds. Never mind, I take it back. He has no idea what he's doing. Bro's tweaking hard. I take all of it back. What would I use on Juggernaut? I mean, outside of, like, the 8 energy, like, outside of, like, Vipers. If I have the Viper aids, which you could do. Are there any other, like, Fragment Gun 8 and 12? Fragment Gun is another weapon I would kind of like to upgrade a bit. Because I see a lot of people using it. Even at high SP. It's the most common rare weapon for me to see people using maxed out. Like on my main account at high SP. It's kind of slaps. It kind of slaps. But it's kind of expensive too. Like, the rare stuff, even though it's a lot cheaper, it's still not that cheap. So I don't necessarily think I want to go for it just yet. Especially not on this account. What do we have here? That's this guy's name. And then Shudini and Ghost. Gunnarsson and Player. Those are the guys on my team. Okay. What? Is that a shotgun 2 and a strike rocket on that Lancer? Man, it's not a good sign when you see builds like that. I'm just saying. It's not a good sign. Kill shot. Garbage. No. He'll beat me up. He'll beat me up. He's in the process currently of beating me up. Okay. My shield protected me though. That's good. Lag much? Thanks, game. Salver. Man, Salver is so common to see at this SP. I think it's because, I mean, like, the game is totally fine putting rank 4, rank 5 legendaries up against rank 4 epics. Or even rank 3 rares, to be honest. I don't know why they're okay with that, but they do it. And because they are okay with doing that, something like a Salver, which normally would be really weak, is actually, like, hella tanky. And it can just constantly heal itself. Don't do that. Go away. Oh, I'm so cooked. I'm cooked. Okay, Volty as well. Volty's really good at this SP as well. Okay, this one's rank 4. I guess it's slightly more reasonable. More reasonable than what? I'm not sure. More reasonable than maxed, I suppose. What? I didn't kill him. Weird. Would have thought double railguns after being marked like in the face. Oh, you kill him. Oh no, I think I missed that last shot because the game freaking lagged. Based on his HP, I wouldn't have killed him anyway. Can you kill him? Oh my god, bro. Uh-oh. I was gonna poke him. I cannot poke him anymore. Oh. Is that Eclipse still back there? He is. Guys. There's two of you and one of him. Can you freaking kill him already? Okay, finally. Finally. But the nice thing about this is that he has to spawn all the way back here. He has a pretty big disadvantage at this point. Oh, oh, never mind. I wasn't even paying attention to the match. Yeah, that's also good. Volti at this and lower SP is busted. Yeah, I've been running into Voltis pretty much ever since it came out. Running into Voltis on this account, I should say. And it'll one-shot most of my mechs. The ability will one-shot most of my mechs. So I have to be very careful. What's this? A crate, and it gave me nothing of value to me. Getting crashed with a railgun gives me instant mood drop. That's crazy, but so true. Cooldown modifier makes it even more busted. That's true, I suppose, yeah. Certain mechs with ability cooldown modifier is just ridiculous. Especially at lower SP, where it's like, you don't necessarily have certain things to worry about. Silverthorn's ability still affects Eclipse while phase cloaked, right? It should. I don't think it does because, I mean, the game wouldn't allow it to work the way it's supposed to. I don't think it does, but I think it should, yeah, according to the Max Spotlight. I mean. Just made a rank 6 Juggernaut. I've been meaning to for a while, and it's OP. It's actually, like, not. I don't necessarily know what I would do with it. It's kind of funny. I like having it. 122,000. 150. It's like moderately more. It's like a tiny bit more HP than my Aegis, but my Aegis is mostly good for the ability, not for the raw HP. But in certain, like maybe on certain maps, if I were to, which actually is a good point. I want to play 5v5, so I'll invite people for tournament if you want to play tournament. The battle map is selected randomly, but here's the thing. I can put, instead of this piece of crap, because Panther's really bad on close quarters maps, right? A Juggernaut would be significantly better. Do I want it with Viper or Graviton Beam? I feel like Graviton Beam probably has more damage just because it's the 10. Although maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe Viper is better. And I have a specialized pilot as well. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Every time you buy a mod, you have to make sure that you install it on all your presets. That's a reminder to everybody who just bought a mod, didn't install it on all their presets. Yeah, you gotta do that every time. And yeah, I have this weird freaking Revoker Aegis for no reason. But you never know, like maybe there's a map out... okay, to be fair, I must say I had this for free for all, but maybe there's a map out there that would call for a Revoker Aegis, you don't know. You don't know, and neither do I. And then in terms of Zephyr, it EMPs for 3 seconds, which is enough time to get your pod damage off. It's fine. It should be fine. The pod gun delay is 2 seconds, so you're like kind of cutting it close, but I think it should be fine. So anyway, so basically what I'm thinking is like I have this for the closer range maps, and I have this for the longer range maps. What do you think about that? Except on this, I would put duration, because I don't really need mag size. It's just that duration's probably worse on Juggernaut. OP, yeah, OP. 2 Stormracks, 10 star, or 2 Stormrack 10s, I think you mean? I mean, technically, yeah, but then what would I put on my Lancer? Stormrack 6s, like, and I would have to rank this up. I don't even have the blueprints. And I don't want to anyway. Like, because, like, here's my main hanger. Right? Stormrack's really strong. But here's my main hanger. For most cases. If I were to rank up my Stormrack 10, and then use 2 10 and 6 builds, what would I put the other Stormracks on? Every single one of these builds would be worse if I had if I had Stormracks on it without a reload implant. Like, because without the legendary reload implant, it's not really that good. It's really nice for Lancer, because Lancer can keep cover on certain maps. But otherwise, like, I don't know. Which I guess is another point. Like, I could replace my Lancer with Panther. I could. And I could put the Stormracks on, like, Zephyr. But I kind of feel like the Lancer's better. Like, even if there isn't a map that it can exploit, I think it's probably better in a lot of cases. Hold on, let me search this to tournament. And I'll just invite people who are online. If they want to join, they can join. If they don't want to join, they cannot join. I don't care. Flame, hello, how are you? Blockhorn is pretty nice, though, especially in free-for-all. I like Blockhorn just in general. Blockhorn should be epic, this guy says. What are you on, dude? Why should it be epic? That doesn't even make sense. What is that, Aegis, the Revoker one? OP, that's what it is. That's what it is. Nothing besides. You do think I could say for duplicate nade launcher 10? Potentially, but it's still pretty expensive. Like, 2 ranks... Getting my Juggernaut to rank 6 was kind of expensive, as it were. Like 1,600 A coins, I think. And like 150-ish thousand credits, I believe. Something like that. And a rare one would be even more than that. And an epic one would be even more than that. Yeah, it's less ranks, but it's like you still like you're dealing with the 2 most expensive ranks. The 2 most expensive ranks are really the bulk of all of the price. And because it's epic, it's going to cost more. It's going to be expensive, I think. From more expensive than it's worth, I should say. Like, being expensive is not necessarily, like... I mean, I bought a lot of things that are expensive. Freaking disc launcher's expensive, and I want to get that at some point. Oh, it's a kill shot. Get him freaking out of here. But, I'll bet you. Wasn't really paying attention. Man, just build up the implosion already. Please and thanks. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Your best mech is Revoker Surge. Yeah, well, that'll do it. Just gonna freaking mark him though. Poke. 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 Oh, I didn't kill him, but I did poke him. And that's not what's most important, but it's interesting anyway. Kill shot, get him out of here. Yeah, ain't nobody kills a kill shot faster than me. Stormrat Gatecrasher is your best mech. That is wild. Gatecrasher is fun. Sucks that it's not that good, though. I wish it was a lot better than it is. Like, it's got good stats, but base stats kind of mean nothing, to be honest. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. There we go. What do you have to say about that, yo? Creeper. Excuse you. Yep, that's the right angle, alright. I'm just coming here to measure stuff. Okay. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die. But I wanted to get the implosion off to kill him, which I did. I did do that. I'm freaking cooked already, brother. Okay. Poke. It takes so long to reload. It takes so long to reload, man. I'm not even bothered shooting at that guy because I know he's already dead. Oh. Well, that's just rude. I didn't have ammo to kill the kill shot. That's a crime, actually. I should save ammo specifically for kill shots. If they happen to appear, I didn't need that second shot. That second shot was unnecessary. But a lot of things are unnecessary, but I do them anyway. Let's freaking... yeah, that's fine. I guess I waited the time runner. After repricing, can I get my extra acorns back? No. Why would you? Like, I don't get my money back when a Steam game that I bought goes on sale. Like, literally nothing ever works like that. Okay, well, I gotta restart. It's bugged, and it's probably because somebody sent a DM in-game. The in-game DMs break my game almost every single time. If you send a DM, yeah, if you send a DM while I'm in a battle, I've realized that just, like, it always crashes my game. And I will never understand it, but it's really annoying. And I can't keep it from happening, so... You purchased Orion for 37.50 acorns? Yeah, so did I. You're not gonna get it back, though. It's like... It's going on... It's a price reduction, right? It's like... It's not that they made a mistake. So, yeah, okay, so you're mentioning the thing about Lancer. The thing with Lancer, specifically... I didn't get acorns for the Lancer, I got credits. And the reason that they gave me credit compensation, they gave me my credits back, some of my credits back. The reason that they did that was because they incorrectly charged more credits than they were supposed to. And I spent those credits not knowing that I was spending more than I was supposed to. Since it was a mistake on their end, they compensated me. So if there's any mistakes, any mistakes, especially on Plarium's side, if there's a mistake, like if the game bugs, like lags or something, and it forces you to buy something for whatever reason, like that probably happens. It hasn't happened to me, but it's happened. If it was just like your own dumb mistake, then I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But if it's like, if it's the game's mistake, if it's a problem with Plarium, and it's their fault that it happened, and you can prove that it's their fault that it happened, and you can tell them what's wrong and why. You can prove what's going on. I sent them a video of like it was easy for me because I could just send them the video of me upgrading Lancer, and then not knowing that it was costing me a lot more than it should. So I just sent them that, and that was proof enough. But yeah, for other people, I guess they don't really record a lot of things, and that's gonna be tougher to prove on your side. But still, yeah. So because it was a mistake on their end, they compensated. Not just because they made it less expensive. It had nothing to do with the fact that they made it less expensive. If you watch Gravity Falls, yeah. It's a good show. You just got Railgun 8 on free-to-play, and it's amazing. You put it on Redeemer. Once you get Orion, it's a completely different experience. It's completely different. It's wild. This build is crazy. It's easily my best build. I like to change it. I like to change it before inviting people so that people know what they're getting into. Otherwise, like, I really don't like when... I really don't like when people invite you and then they change the mode last second and just immediately run it. It's like, oh my gosh, bro, I didn't sign up for that. Is this guy joining? I'll invite him one more time just in case. Which of the epic mechs are worth maxing out now that the price will drop? Redeemer, maybe. Nah, probably not Redeemer. Orion's the best one. Orion's the clear best epic mech. The second best is probably Panther. Aegis and Panther. I see more Panthers in like in competitive games or like late game maxed, not like competitive. Nobody uses Panther, but I see them in like, you know, really like maxed out customs or whatever. I'll see Panthers occasionally. Pretty much never see an Aegis, but Orion is probably the best out of all of them. You're waiting for Orion? I've just been able to get the railguns. Yeah, Orion's ridiculous, dude. Oh, let's freaking go, man. And I can use freaking this. Oh, Canada, man. Not Canada, Canada. He's giving me a specific finger, one of which I am not a fan. I cut mine off years ago. Let's see. Can I? Or just disappears. Oh yeah. That guy is dead. That guy is dead. The Hemlock, I need to kill him. It's not a bot. Yeah, worth it. Honestly, worth it. The Hemlock needed to go, bro. Hi. Please don't. They don't know I'm here. They know I'm here now. They know I'm here now. They know I'm here now. Please. Wait, okay. The Redeemer can't kill me right now. Okay, there we go. That guy's gonna kill me. 100%. 100% that guy's gonna kill me. Oh, not? Boom, 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 boom. Oh my gosh, it's OP, brother. Juggernaut's OP. It's not actually. It's not doing bad. I'm cooked as soon as I say that. Of course. Hey there. Hey there. No. That's not good. Oh. Oh. Did he die? Yeah, he died. To a different nomad, of all things. Where? Did they have one guy? Armadillo, hold on. Robot Smasher. I saw that guy. Armadillo, I don't think I've seen. Armadillo might not be in the match. I'm not 100% certain. I don't think I've seen Armadillo. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy. I saw him. Why didn't he EMP me? I'm not sure. How didn't he EMP me? I'm not sure. Why did he ignore me? Also not sure. Am I... Oh, ah! Not a fan of that. I am not a fan of that. I can... Yeah, he's just chilling. Yeah, see, I freaking thought so, dude. I knew it. I knew one of these guys. It was too easy. Both of them. Okay, bye. That's fine, too, I suppose. But yeah, no, both those guys left. So sad. Figured it was kind of a little too easy. I mean, I'm only gonna shoot the guy that moves. Oh. Oh. Okay. No, I shouldn't shoot at him. Juggernaut meta? Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Flame your head now? Okay, bye-bye. What was that for? You got into LTA's free-to-play clan? That's crazy. Nice. Max Lancer. Yeah, I have Max Lancer. I've had it for a while. Assuming the price reduction for epic stuff is actually 50%, wouldn't it be cheaper to duplicate an epic item than to duplicate a legendary item? Yeah. It'd be cheaper. But would it be better? Like 2 legendary weapons is obviously better than 2 epic weapons. So the problem is, right? Would 2 nade launcher 10s be about as good as, let's say, podgun 8s, right? Because if you could buy 2 8s of legendary for credits, then that's probably a lot better than buying and ranking up an epic thing twice. Right? Probably. So there's going to be, I think the only epic weapon that's really going to be worth investing in is Helix Rack. Because it's the only one that serves a unique function that you can't just get a better version of with using Legendary. 50%, that's a huge upgrade. Potentially. That's a guess, but I think so. What's your opinion on Titans being in the game? The devs already said that they're never going to do it. And they're not going to do it because the maps aren't made for it. Like, you couldn't get through certain maps. So it's not really, there's not really any reason to even talk about it. Which weapon will be the next for me to get? I'm not sure. It would be nice to get an epic thing. Probably I was going to get Cheetah. But now I'm not sure if I will. But I got some time, so maybe still. It would be nice to get an epic thing when the reprice happens. Just to have some relevant content for that. If nothing else, then maybe I buy an epic weapon. Though I don't think that would be a great idea necessarily. Missile Rack 8. could be okay. But I ain't sure. I ain't sure. Definitely not fuse mortar. Nade launcher. I guess I already have the 6. I don't know. Undecided. Probably, I mean, from a performance standpoint, I probably want to get Overdriver. Because that would probably be the best one that I don't have. But I might get Disc Launcher instead, because I kind of want a guided weapon for achievements. And also because I already have Viper, so I don't necessarily need Overdriver, but... Titan's too big for Macarena. Yeah. You feel like you can easily max Aegis? Maybe you could, I don't know. Do you want to get Sentinel? I forgot about Sentinel. I forgot that I didn't have it. Yeah, I might get Sentinel. Duplicating Hellfire 10 for Juggernaut would be funny, but then again, I doubt funny is that good for your free play. I mean, I would be down to get Hellfire just to kind of prove that it's not good, but the 10 is A-coins, isn't it? Oh no, it is credits, you're right. 16. Yeah, maybe I do get the 10 and 6. Maybe I do. Just to kind of compare it, because I mean, like, there are certain weapons that do better at lower SP than they do at higher SP. Hellfire obviously does really bad at higher SP, but maybe it does okay lower. I'm not 100% sure. I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Not necessarily opposed to it, but I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it. At some point, probably pretty soon, maybe I get like Fragment Gun 14 or something like that. Just to progress into the next tier. Something cheap, just to get into there. Because I know people are going to be itching for me to do that. And that may or may not be the start of the end. And by the end, I mean the end of free-to-play content. That is actually interesting, because then everything is just going to be, oh, I have Revoker Surge. Yeah. But at the same time, I have been sort of using this account as like a testing ground, but also kind of using it as like a general way to show people like, whoa, how they should do things. So part of me wants to avoid getting Surge and Eclipse, just to see if it's even possible to avoid them. But another part of me thinks that's like, I know that it's not gonna work, and I don't want people to copy me by buying really bad stuff. Thinking that it's gonna be better than Surgery Eclipse when I know that it's not. And I mean, it's not like when I first got into tier 5, the first thing I bought was Aegis because I knew it was the best mech. Well, I think maybe I bought Zephyr first, but because it's credits, but you get what I mean. And then when I got to tier 6, the first mech I bought was Orion because I knew that one was the best. I knew that it was better than Panther. I didn't bother getting Sentinel because I knew it's not good. I didn't get Killshot because screw Killshot, and also I didn't really need it. So, like, to a large extent, I've been following a relatively optimized path, getting to this point. And then when the price reduction hit, I really went back and started getting a lot of other things. Well, I went back and got some legendary weapons as well before then, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people that want me to progress just because, but I think... I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I guess I could just choose not to use them all the time, right? Like, even though, like, I could own it, but I don't, like, I could have it, as a thing that I own, but it's not necessarily something that I have to use always. But even still, I think people would complain about it. Like if I saved up 10,000 Acorns and then I bought a freaking Surge, people would be whining their ass off if I didn't use it always. But then as soon as I use it, they're not gonna click the video, right? Anybody who watches the video would assume that I'm using Surge, and if I'm not using Surge, then they'll complain. And anybody who doesn't care just wouldn't bother watching the video because they'll assume that I'm using Surge. I don't know. Surge Hellfire. That's crazy. Redux Supremacy. I wish. But again, it's like, it is a matter of like, even if, let's say, I got Redux and it was actually pretty decent, I think that would be cause for a lot of people to then decide that they're going to buy Redux instead of Surge or Eclipse. Even though, like I say, not to all the time, but there's a lot of people who've been trying to copy my hanger. I have a lot of people copying my hanger and basically trying to build their hanger to be exactly what I have, which is not necessarily the best way to go about it. I mean, like, this hanger right here is probably the best one that I could make in tier 6. Realistically. Like, if you want to copy this hanger, absolutely go for it. Even the Max Lancer. I think the Max Lancer is a great idea. If you're, like, tier 5, tier 6, like, I think this is the hanger you should be going for. If you're already tier 6, maybe skip the Lancer, go with something else, but... because it's not necessarily worth going back, spending that much credits, but, you know, I don't want people to, like, necessarily copy the Juggernaut or the Guardian or the Ares or whatever. And though it was nice to rank up my Ares and actually realize that it was pretty darn solid, because the rank 4 Ares is actually really good. I liked it. Not necessarily the best idea. And yeah, so if I got like Redux or if I got Scorpius, it could be okay, but the better it is, the better for me. But the better it is, also the more likely people are going to copy it, and that would make people would take the wrong thing away from my thing. Yeah, I don't know. 6-7 KSP. Yeah, that's the problem though. That's the problem though. I don't want to get to that SP. The bulk of players are where I'm at. Like, I'd say easily 70% of players are in like the 3000 SP range. 6,000 to 7,000 SP. Not only am I going to get a lot less player matches, but my videos are also going to be significantly less relevant to the majority of the player base. I think I've already passed the average. I think the average SP is like 3,500 maybe. 3,000 to 4,000 I think is the average SP that people have. And so the further I go, the less relevant my videos become. And then do I sweat it and just like, I don't care about like, you know, going pro or whatever bull crap with, like, I don't want a competitive free-to-play hanger. I don't want to be a competitive player at all. Like, that was never my intention. I know some people like that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I should be striving for it. I'm a believer in the fact that Surge and Eclipse are the end of all things fun. It's the end of most things. The wall between epic mechs and legendary mechs in terms of price is large enough to where most people don't end up buying legendary mechs. They just keep investing in their epic ones because their epic ones are cheaper. They keep buying and investing in lower tier ones. And that's always been the case. And it will probably always continue to be the case. The difference is large enough to where pretty much nobody ends up getting there. But the fact of the matter is that, like, in order to have the best hanger possible, literally just getting those 2 mechs is more than half of the progress right there. Right? Like, those 2 mechs will carry you to 12,000 SP. If you really want them to. And so, like, to a large extent, yeah. To a large extent, yeah. As soon as you get both of the one or both of those mechs, then it's like you kind of just do whatever. Like, that's the end. That's the end of the advice for the most part. Like, there's other things to say, obviously, but I think the majority of players, like, their struggle is just getting to that point. Once they get there, they're not going to have a problem. I don't think anyone's going to have a problem once they get there. It's just like, how do they get there? And that's the biggest thing. I bought so many stupid items instead of Surge and Eclipse on my free-to-play. I do have a high paid account, but nowadays I barely ever even log in besides to claim promo codes. Yeah, my main account sees very little gameplay. Because there's no players at that SP. And even if there are, they're all using the exact same 5 things. So, like, it's kind of, yeah. It's not interesting. And that's kind of the issue here as well. It's like, the further I go with this account, the less players I'm going to see. And the more brain dead every match is going to be. To a point where I will probably eventually be forced to pretty much exclusively use Revoker Surge or Revoker Eclipse, whichever one I go for. I'll be pretty much forced to use that constantly. And I won't be able to use anything else if I want to win. And that would just suck. It would just suck. Like now, right as I have it right now, it's pretty rough sometimes, but I don't have the option to get anything better. Like, this is the best that I have. And I'm okay using the best that I have at this point, because I know that it's still going to be a bit of a challenge for me. But if I was just going around with a freaking Surge, it's so freaking lame. So, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, and I can pretty much guarantee that if a Surge showed up in my account, if I got a Surge on this account, I saved up for it, I made a, like made a video or whatever and everything. I'm pretty sure the number of people who would actually watch my free-to-play videos from that point onward would be like half, maybe. Because I don't think you guys understand how few people actually have those mechs. And if you don't have it, then most of the time you don't care. People, because the majority, and the reason is because, like, yeah, technically they're free-to-play mechs, but most people don't see them as free-to-play mechs because they're so expensive. I think the majority of players just don't, they don't see them as accessible. You finally got Eclipse as free-to-play, and ever since I got it, I almost never use anything else. Yeah. Like, it's nice in terms of hanger performance if you want to win the most possible. Like, that's nice, but at the same time, like, it's kind of sad because that's just kind of like the end of. It's the end of the, I don't know, kind of the enjoyable part. Like, after that, like, it's like the entire time you're building up, fighting all these guys who have a massive advantage on you, right? They got these crazy things. And all this time, you're basically the underdog and you're figuring out how to play the game. And then as soon as you get something like that, it's like you're just beating up on noobs. It's like now you're on the opposite end, where everyone else is just like literally fleeing for their lives while you just chase them brainlessly with Revokers. And it feels kind of sad. It feels kind of sad. Variety games? Nah, probably not. Not on this channel. We've already established that different games don't do well on this channel. But I'm not surprised. Like, I should have built this channel up as a to feature more games. Mech Arena is not going to last forever, and I should have done that, but I think it's too late. I spent like 3-4 years. It's like, I think 3 years uploading nothing but Mech Arena on this channel, essentially. So it's a bit too late for them. Does unlocking the 5th mech drastically increase the matchmaking? I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't believe I had any issues with it. You still have a 3-star carbine, 12 catching dust. That's crazy. It's never gonna get a buff, dude. I don't think they're ever gonna touch it. I think that Plarium's perfectly okay with some weapons just being straight crap. I don't think they care. Weapons like Javelin Helix Rack, Gemini Disc Launcher would be a nightmare for flying mechs. Yeah. If they made a flying mech, then it probably wouldn't be very good. Well, it could be okay. It would be okay. It probably wouldn't be... well... It most likely would be meta, just because the meta is... like, almost entirely consisted of Stormrack and Revoker, neither of which can hit a flying thing very well. That's the reason Lacewing's so good, is because both of those weapons have a really hard time hitting a Lacewing while it's jumping. And, so for that reason, a flying mech would probably be meta, but it would at least change the meta to where people would use more guided type things, more Gemini, more Strike Rocket, possibly. And at that point, would it be very good? I don't know, maybe not. Podgun as well. I should have mentioned Podgun would probably be the best one, actually. My fear with flying things is that they give it stealth. Because it's a pretty safe, it's pretty fair bet that if they make a mech that flies, that they very well might give it stealth. But if they give it stealth, then it's like, it's GG. There's no way to kill it, essentially. I remember you said in a stream a while ago you'd probably quit Mech Arena next year if they don't change the meta or the general gameplay. Are you still on that train? No, I said I wouldn't do that unless they changed the game. Just improved the game overall. The price drops are a really good start, I think. And I think I said that before they changed the implant system as well. Potentially. I think so, yeah. They changed the implant system to where you can actually, like, the pilots and implants, so you can actually take implants off. It's really nice. So, like, they've made some good improvements over the last year. So I don't think I want to quit the game. But I am having some... I'm having some, like... not second thoughts. Because it's not like a thing that's, like, really a choice that I can make. I'm just, like, sitting here, I'm kind of concerned about what would I do with my content once I inevitably get Surge and or Eclipse on this account. And my views inevitably tank because of it. Because they will. They will. Should you go back to Tier 4 and get Stormwreck 6 and Revoker 6? Yeah, probably. Whether that's the best thing for you to do right this moment depends on whether or not you need those weapons. If I have a video of me unlocking Orion, so is there any chance for me to get some resources? They're not compensating you. It wasn't a mistake. It's a discount. The old price, this price that's currently here, this price is purposeful. There's no mistakes with it. Completely intentional. And you intentionally paid that price, so there's no compensation that's owed anywhere. Again, it's like, bro, I go to the freaking grocery store and I buy stuff that's on sale. Or if I buy something and then the next day it goes on sale, they're not gonna pay me back because it went on sale. That's ridiculous. Like, that's not how sales work. Nothing in the world works the way that you're implying it should work. Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean they give you your money back or your resources back. Just because it's cheaper now, I should say. I don't know of anything that's ever worked like that. You should do a poll if people want you to get surgeon and clips on this account, or if they just want you to make videos on all the early game weapons people might have. I made a poll similar to that. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is that there's a significant chunk of people... I'd have to explain myself. Do you still play Warbots? Nah. I play Warbots Frontiers every once in a great long while. Like once a month, maybe. Don't play Warbots at all. But here's the thing. And it's like I mentioned. People think that they want to see that. Because they would be excited if they saw, let's say, a video of me getting Surge. I think that on the free play account, that video would get a lot of views. That one video. Every following video, it would just be, I'm using Revoker Surge again for the billionth time. And nobody would care. The video of me getting it, that would do well. Same thing with Eclipse. People like to see it because they like to see that it's possible. But what they don't realize is that after that, they're not going to bother watching anything. And I know that they're not going to bother watching anything because they don't have it, and they're probably not going to have it for a really long time. And so, I cannot ask a question like that directly because they think that they want it, or they think that they would watch it, but I don't think that they would. I'm making an assumption here, but I'm making, like, a very educated assumption. I'm making a very educated assumption. The lower down the tiers I go, the more likely people are to watch videos on whatever it is that I make. Warbots has become a hellscape. Oh, it's been that way for a long time. That's the reason I play Mech Arena, is because I was just looking for a better Mech game. That's the only reason. But anyway, yeah. So like I couldn't make a poll like that specifically. What I could do is a thing that I actually have already done. And what I asked was the poll that I made. Let me find it. I don't remember exactly what I said. Oh, alarm going off. This one. This one. Let me drag this over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this one right here. I had to make sure that I worded it in such a way that people wouldn't necessarily vote for it just because, oh, it's free-to-play Surge, oh, it's free-to-play Eclipse. So the question was, what's the main reason you watch my free-to-play videos? For advice on how to play, which I don't really give because I don't think I'm a great player. So I don't really give gameplay advice. Advice on what to buy. That's basically... This is what got the most votes. To see the progress. This is the thing that was there essentially as the should I get Surgery and Eclipse, or do you want to see me get Surgery and Eclipse? Because if people wanted to see the progress on my account, then yes, they would watch my search and they would continue to watch my free to play account even after I get whatever. They'd watch it, whatever. A few people don't watch it, but that's fine. The majority of people do. But people mostly want advice on what to buy. Advice on what to buy specifically to get to where they're going, and to most people, where they're going is tier 7 for Surge and Eclipse. So the bulk majority, the extreme majority of people want to know what to get. And yeah, there's a few things that they could learn. There's a few things that I could show, a few things, whatever, for tier 7 or for maybe even tier 8. But it's like each thing would take progressively longer for me to get. It would take a lot of, like, from that point onward, it's mostly just all Revoker and Stormrack. Like, there's not a whole lot much else. I feel like, But yeah, so like this question was here basically for that, for the Surge and Eclipse reason. But pretty much nobody voted for that, like comparatively. Would it not make sense then to stay below tier 7 or will Surge and Eclipse? Yeah, it would make sense, but people want to see me get there, right? So then I'm in a bit of a situation. Eventually I'll get there regardless, because eventually, like, I don't know, at some point I want like freaking Particle Beam 10, right? And when I get that, I'll just move into tier 7 just by default. So even if I put it off, at some point I will get there by accident, by sheer accident, even if I don't want it. And once I get, and also people want to see me get to tier 7, because again, it's a matter of, same thing with like Surge and Eclipse. People want to see, they like to know that it's possible, and they like to see like, oh yeah, this free-to-play person got to tier 7. They didn't spend any money. I could do it too. Which, like, yeah, that's fair. And I could get to tier 7. I could buy Brick House. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I could keep using Brick House for a while, probably. But Surge and Eclipse, people would inevitably be trying to get me to get Surge and Eclipse. And at some point I have to, right? At some point I should. I think purposely staying low SP is kind of, it's kind of a bad move, because it's kind of like tanking, right? Like if I made an account and then purposely stayed at like 1000 SP just to keep beating up on noobs. Like, I know people at 4000 SP aren't noobs. People at 4000 SP have a lot of experience. Most people at 4000 SP probably have like about a year's worth of playing experience. Free-to-play players, I should say. There's a lot of paying people who basically just started the game, but... Oh, geez. Yeah, this guy's like 9,000 battles. This guy's only got 4,000. This guy's only got 2,000. This went the frick. Okay, but that guy might be tanking. This guy, like 6,000, but then what spawn? Mine's only 2,000, actually. And I've been playing this account for a while. So, like, yeah, it's not like I'm fighting, like, legitimate noobs, but it does kind of feel like, purposely stifling my progress, just to kind of feels like I'm trying to get easier matches, and I don't think I really want to do that forever. I'm perfectly willing to slow my progress for the sake of trying different things, but I don't necessarily think I want to, like, fully stop it. You have Killshot on your free play account? Okay, good for you. Anyway, that is, yeah, that's kind of the situation that I'm in. And I'm not 100% sure how I want to proceed here. The other thing that I could do is essentially just leave this account as it is. And basically not really touch it. And try to just get some, maybe like play it some, just to try to get some credits and whatever. And try out like new weapons like Overdrive or 8, like when new free-to-play weapons arrive. And then have a different account that where the goal of that account is to progress as optimally as possible. And the goal of that account would be to get Surge and Eclipse. But I don't want to grind 2 accounts. I can't manage 2 accounts. Like, I own, like, 5 accounts, but I only play 1. Like, this is the only one that I really play. All of the other ones basically get forgotten. So, like, I already know that I couldn't manage 2 accounts even if I wanted to. So, I don't know. Maybe just bite the bullet. Maybe just bite the bullet, get Surge, or Eclipse. I don't know which one. For me, Surge would probably be better because I don't really play Tournament, but for most people, Eclipse would be better, so I'd probably get Eclipse first. Since they seem to be gradually rolling out all the weapons in the, to the hub, maybe you could try out all the weapons one by one. Yeah. And that would be nice. That was kind of the original goal. But that's what I'm saying, is like, the longer, like, people see this, right? The longer it takes, people just, like, more and more, they're more and more antsy for me to just, like, finally get to tier 7 and get one of these stupid things. They're like, come on, just do it already, right? And realistically, I probably could. Because outside of, like, rank ups on stuff, there's not a whole lot in terms of A-coins that I really need to spend on. For almost everybody, in terms of, like, in terms of weapons, you really shouldn't spend A-coins on weapons, so I'm pretty much exclusively spending credits on them, maybe A-coins on the rank ups, but yeah, like, maybe I get Cheetah, but that's about it. In terms of, like, large A-coin dumps. After the reprice, obviously. But, yeah, so I would essentially be stacking up A-coins slowly. And so at that point, I kind of may as well get it. But at the same time, I don't want to use it. Why don't I play tournaments? I just don't like the game mode, and I find that it doesn't actually give me A-coins, really. Like, I'll spend, I don't know, I could spend an hour each day grinding tournament, and I'll get, like, maybe 100 A-coins throughout the entire week. Like, it's not really worth my time. So Brickhouse, yeah. I mean, like, Brickhouse is one that a lot of people have, so I probably would get Brickhouse. But then again, it's like the natural next step would be to get Surge and Eclipse eventually. And the problem is that it's, yeah, I think the point where I get Surge or Eclipse is the point where this account becomes relatively irrelevant to most viewers. That's what I think. Could be wrong. And it's not like I don't necessarily care that much about this account, so, like, I could always make another account and start from scratch doing other things. Because to be fair, I started this account before they did the repricing of the low tier stuff, so I could start a new account with all the extremely cheap costs of things. I could do that. But I don't want to keep starting new accounts every time I reach tier 7. I don't really want to do that. But then, like, what do I do, right? I don't know. It's not really a problem for you guys, because I'll always make sure that my videos are as interesting as possible. But it's a problem for me, because I have to think about, like, what's the long term... What are the long-term consequences of doing certain things, and how long could I realistically expect to be able to use this account, for example, if I were to make the decision to get a certain thing? When something like Seeker or Lacewing gets free-to-play, it's over. I mean, Seeker's in tier 9. What free-to-play player is reaching tier 9, realistically? Oh, sorry, I forgot to change it back to this. Mama. So would you then focus on your main account again? Probably not. I could go back to, like, a challenge type thing, but I don't really want to bounce back and forth. I think people have grown to kind of... I think I like the way that I've made my guides so far. I think that's what people mostly want from me, and I think that's probably what I'm best at anyway. My challenge videos, they were fine and they were fun, but yeah, they'd be a lot less popular anyway. So just from like a channel growth perspective, it's not as good of an idea. But even still, like, you know, unless I'm playing with Sentry, solo challenges are kind of like go on for so long, I suppose. But there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say. And maybe, I don't know, maybe if I make guides on everything, at this point, honestly, my goal is just to make a guide about everything, just so that everything that I know about the game, essentially, is somewhere in my videos. Everything that I know is somewhere. And then at that point, maybe I just quit the game altogether. I'm not sure. Once that's done, I think there's always enough to learn about the game to where I could continue making guides pretty much forever, without much issue. But if I did decide to quit, I'm not saying that I am planning on quitting. What I am saying is that if I do decide that I want to quit, I will almost certainly make sure that I make a good in-depth guide on everything before I do that. I'll try to make sure that everything that I know about the game is somewhere in some video somewhere. Bring back the Smash Bros. Intros? Yeah. I should. It was a little excessive for the tier lists, though. The reason I didn't add them to, like, I used to add them to, like, the tier lists, but it's a lot. And if you think about it, it's like each one is like 5 seconds or something like that. Each of those Smash Bros. Intros are like 5 seconds. But then, like, there was like 40-something weapons. 41 weapons, I think. And so that would have added like a solid 5 minutes to my video. It would have added several minutes to the video just for those Smash Bros. Intros, and I didn't really think it was worth it. I wanted to keep them like 30-40 minutes long, I think is kind of the sweet spot. It's kind of depressing if what you like doing performs poorly. I mean, sort of, but like, what I also like doing is I also like making money on YouTube, right? So if the videos that I make do really well, that makes me happy, right? I'm really glad when my videos do well. So, you know, don't feel bad for me, because I'm doing better than most Mech Arena channels, I'm pretty sure. If not all of them. So, like, to that extent, I still, and I enjoy it enough. I enjoy the process enough. I enjoy the editing process quite a bit. That's why I've been spending a lot of time on editing. But it is tedious, but I do kind of enjoy it. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it enough to, you know, to keep doing it. If I hated it, then I absolutely wouldn't do it. But I do enjoy it, just not as much. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's like, you kind of have to sacrifice. Like, there's some things that you like doing, but then there's other things that's like, you know, people are more inclined to watch certain things, even if it's not necessarily the thing that you would rather do. You do it anyway, because you know it's like it's gonna be better for you. And I'll still make like occasional challenge videos. Occasional. What game would you play if you quit? I have no idea. I actually have no idea. Will you make a comparison video for assault weapons? I spent a bit of time earlier before. It's actually part of the reason I started streaming was because I got bored of doing it. I was on the test server. And so, like, I have 2 accounts on the test server. One's on my PC, one's on my phone. So when I do comparison videos, it's just for it's just with myself. Like, I have the phone, I have the phone account. That's the target that I'm shooting. And then I have my main account, which is the one that I'm recording on. And so I was spending I had a couple hours doing that. I was recording in a different format. I discussed kind of changing up the comparison format for comparison videos. I discussed that last stream toward the end of it. It's probably not many people because like almost everybody leaves by the end of the streams when I'm just sitting here yammering. Well, I wouldn't say almost everybody, but like half of people. So, like, probably you didn't hear it, but yeah, I was thinking about changing the test format. So I spent a couple hours this morning kind of I don't want to say re-recording, but recording comparison clips in the new format so that I could make new comparison videos out of them. I think it's going to require more footage, and it's going to require more editing. It's going to require more of everything, as it usually does, but once I get them, I can reuse them, and then at least it's just done from there. I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, no, I definitely know that, like, Overdriver versus Viper. Anyway, if you want to be an official content creator, if you bought Overdriver for credits, Overdriver versus Viper compare video. It doesn't have to be a comparison the way that I make them. Just try both weapons on a couple of mechs. You absolutely will get views. Promise. So long as you don't make a really, really bad thumbnail. Will you make the implant video or mods video first? The implant one applies to more people, so I'm going to make that one first. Seeing that success in MACC because you're putting in the work. Well, I appreciate that you think so. I mean, I've been doing my best, yeah, to make sure that like my videos are better. I mean, like I've mentioned before, like as of late, I'd say like the last 6 months maybe, my goal for each of my videos is just to make sure that it's better than any other videos that are on that topic. Like if there's somebody else has a video on that topic, I want to watch it, see what they did, and I want to make sure that my video on that topic is better. I mean, even take the even if I don't necessarily know what it looks like, I can guess. Like take the Silverthorn video. Pretty much guarantee nobody else did tests, and if they did, not to the extent that I did. So if you want to know the most about the new mech, you'd have to watch my video to know it. And that's just kind of my goal, is just to make sure that my videos are the better ones. And I think I'm capable of doing that, so long as I put in enough effort. So Viper isn't worth getting. Overdriver's better overall, yeah. So you're saying putting 50 Chungus and Chungai in your thumbnail is a blunder then. No. More Chungai better. 51 Chungai. Yeah, because there's a lot of assault weapons. Yeah, but I wouldn't compare all of them. Like Carbine is unnecessary. The bulk of you have to think about it this way. The bulk of your views are coming from people who don't spend money. The bulk of your views are coming from free-to-play players. So incorporating, let's say, Berserker is probably pointless. Because even if somebody was willing to spend a couple bucks on Berserker, it's the 12. The one that's out right now is the 12, and so probably they're not going to get it. The bulk of players are light spenders and free-to-play players. So the light spenders will spend a couple dollars on like 8 energy weapons most of the time. They're not going to spend on much heavier than that, probably. 8 and 16. I should say 16 as well. Because like I said, almost everybody is within the 3,000 to 4,000 SP range. Even light spenders. Like, they'll have a full hanger of legendary mechs and they'll still only be like 4,000 SP. Like, freaking check what this guy had. What do have? Yeah, he got Dreadnought. It's rank 3, which is kind of ridiculous. Let me check, maybe this guy. Bastion, Chungus, 6,000, two tanker hangers. $5,000. He has a surge, he has an eclipse. The bulk of players, he bought the surge strength for. So the bulk of players aren't going to be too interested in 12 energy weapons, I don't think. Especially ones that are brand new, they're probably not going to be on sale. 12 or 6 energy weapons, I think 6 energy weapons probably don't sell super well either. Well, maybe they do, I don't know. Regardless, what I'm saying is, like, Berserker's not super relevant to most people, so I wouldn't, like, adding Berserker is kind of pointless. Oracle, pretty much, like, nobody ever talks about Oracle. Like, it's a pretty relevant weapon. Not because it's strictly bad, but just because it's like, why bother? So Oracle will be another kind of irrelevant one. Carbine costs an absolute fortune, and it's really bad, so there's be no point in talking about that. So, like, really the only relevant assault weapons are just Overdriver and Viper, and those are the ones that happen to also be free to play. So, would you consider Dreadnought as a meta mech? I made a tier list, and I put it, like, honorary S tier. People don't use it competitively, but it's really, really strong. What is Chungai, though? Multiple Chunguses, that's what it is. Chungai is the plural of Chungus, trust me, bro. Yeah. Big house, yeah. You only the newest assault weapons. Yeah. Well, in terms of well, here's the thing that I have to think about. Before you, there's two major things to think about, right? When I'm making a video, or when anybody's making videos, like anybody who's trying to be an official content creator, like, listen up. There's two major things to think about. So there's the idea itself. You want to make sure that the idea itself is good. And usually I like to kind of take the idea maybe a slight step further than I normally would. Or than anyone else would. Or that I think anyone else would. Like, for example, Graviton Beam. I did not want to simply get Graviton Beam and then use a single Graviton Beam in that video. I think almost everybody would have done that, but I wanted to go a step further to also duplicate it and use 2 of them. And so that's most of the reason that I did that. So there's that. You want to make sure the idea is good, and you want to have a reason for people to watch your video over someone else's video. Then you also have to think about the title and the thumbnail. And when it comes to the title and the thumbnail, the best looking comparison is between 2 different things. There's one thing on one side, there's one thing on the other side in terms of the thumbnail. And with the more things that you add, the more confusing it is to people who are looking at it. And even though it could be interesting from a video creation standpoint, from like a video idea standpoint of like, all of the assault weapons compared with each other, it looks really bad as a thumbnail. And so I don't do that. I don't even do 3-way. I used to do like 3-way comparisons, which fit nicely on the screen. Like, I can fit 3 on the screen pretty well. 4 is a little bit too much because I can't fit 4 side by side on the screen at the same time. Not well, anyway. I can fit 2 nicely and I can fit 3 nicely. And I used to do 3 relatively often, but they don't do well as thumbnails, so I only do 2 now. Did I make a video on the new weapon? Yep. That was earlier today. You feel like the game is losing really nice players? Yeah. I'm sure it's gaining nice players as well. Like, there's always going to be people who leave. And there's always going to be people who join. It's sad when people leave. But, you know, it's just a natural part of things. Like, nobody's going to stay forever. I'm not going to stay forever. At some point I'll leave. Like, even if it's like 10 years from now, at some point I'll stop, right? So, Anyway, are you guys all fed up with my rambling? Because I could stop now. I was probably, I wasn't really planning on doing any more, on playing any more matches. I think there's, what is there? Yeah, both of these. There's still a day left, and I finished that one, so it's no big deal. I got time. I don't need to play any more matches. But I'm like, I kind of enjoy explaining the video creation process. Like, there's a lot of little details. There's a lot of little things that go into which videos I make, how I make them, why I make them. And I enjoy explaining that when people ask about it, but I feel like a lot of people don't really care. And so if you guys, if you're bored, I'll just end it here. You're heading out, Socrates? Okay, bye-bye. We're still sitting here in 40 years. That's definitely not gonna happen. The game's not gonna last 40 years. It's not even gonna last 20 years, bro. Might last 10 more. I don't know, but it might. Do I want a 1v1 you? Nah. Nah, I don't want to play anymore. I'm just talking. So if you guys have anything, like, interesting to talk about, then go ahead. But otherwise, yeah, bro, I'll just end. You thought you saw it somewhere? Try to watch it tomorrow on the tier list videos too? Yeah, fair enough. I should put the tier list videos in my descriptions. I've just been putting the free-to-play Gear Hub, not tier list, free-to-play Gear Hub guide. Yeah, it's the top link in my description, and anytime anyone's just like, should I get Pod Gun or Viper? I'm just like, go to the Gear Hub guide, it has everything. Or they're like, should I get Orion or Panther first? Just go to the Gear Hub guide, it's right there, I already talked about it, just go to that one. It's the top link. Easy. You're sub for a month, let's go. Looking forward to the implant video. Realistically, it probably won't be for another week or so. But because I had all the notes, I have it all scripted, I recorded most of it. By all appearances, okay, there's two things to note about it. First off, I recorded probably like 70-80% of it. But hold on. So I recorded like 70 or 80% of it. And it's like 3 hours long already. But I want to cut it down. The second point is that I want to cut it down to like 50 minutes at most. I don't want it to be that long. People aren't going to watch something that's that long. I'm okay with it being like, I'm okay with it being 40 minutes, 50 minutes is a bit of a stretch. 30 minutes, I don't think I could cut it down to 30 minutes. I want to make sure that I get all the info in there. Like, I want to make sure that it has everything. But yeah, so then it'd take a frick ton of time to edit it down to that without losing any type of quality. The level of detail you bring is super good for nerds like myself. Sorry, I look forward to in-depth take on stuff. Okay, you're gonna like this one then, because this is the most detailed. This is going to be everything. Everything that I know about implants, period. Everything. As one video. And it's going to be a mouthful, but I think it'll be worth it. And hopefully I won't have to really make any implant videos after that. Because at one point, and part of the reason I'm even making one single implant video covering everything when I could just make it like a series or something. Which is a series that I started, by the way. So like I started an implant guide series for like different things, but nobody, they performed really, really poorly. They always did. They always performed very bad. And so I was just like, okay, you know what? Instead of constantly having videos that tank, instead of constantly having videos that are tanking, like not Mech Arena tanking, but like they're getting really bad views, and I know that they're gonna get really bad. Like I'm just gonna make one, and it should be in depth enough to where people would watch it anyway. I think implants are not really a topic. I think implants are not really a topic that most people care about, because if you think about, like I mentioned, most people are around this SP level. Most people, like, I've been playing this account for like 8-ish months, 9 months, right? Close to September. But I've been playing this account for like 9 months. I don't have implant options, right? Like, I just use what I can and I upgrade what I can. There's not really much in terms of options. So I think the which implant's better type question is not one that's super relevant to most people, but I will answer everything. Every single mech. I'm gonna list the implants that it has and the implants that you should, the ones that are like all of the implants from best to worst. Talk about the nuances between them. And I'll do that every single mech, every single weapon. And like talk about which ones are worth getting, which ones aren't worth getting. Certain fun facts about certain implants, like disruptor radius does not affect the disruptor path damage. It only affects the impact damage, which makes it pretty bad. That's a thing that probably not a lot of people know, probably, but it's a very important detail. And yeah, so like things like that. And that's gonna take a long time, but yeah, probably should be fine. You should unlock Savant, but it's only the 6. Like, I kind of want to, because I actually think that they do good on this account. I think they do good, but it's only the 6, which is kind of sad. You thought it affected the path radius? Yeah, there's a lot of implants like that. There's a lot of things where it's like there's certain notes about them that are really important to make, such as like let's say another good example, Viper mag size. It's only effective at either 20% or 40%. Anything in between there, it actually reduces your DPS. Because you're spending time firing those little sadness bullets, when in reality you really want those rockets. 20% gives you 1 extra rocket, 40% gives you 2 extra rockets. And you wouldn't think it by just looking at it. You'd think that more percent equals better regardless. But no. I'm actually better off having this at level 3 than I am at level 4. Ryan was single Savant 16. That would be pretty crazy. I don't even have that unlocked, though. I'd have to get to tier 8 to unlock that. That's, yeah, not gonna happen. I hope these changes being made bring in a bunch of new players. This game needs a bigger player base for a well-rounded experience. Some of these players at my SP are super sweaty. I don't think it's ever... the player base is never going to grow so long as people are willing to continue justifying tanking. I think the major thing driving new players away, I think there's a lot of new accounts being made, and that more than half of them are being made by people who already have an account, and they're creating a new account for either the beginner promo codes or the download links. I would wager that close to half of them, if not more, are from players creating alt accounts. Because you can get some stupidly broken things from alt accounts with certain links or with certain promo codes even. And new players who don't know any of that, they join and they get immediately absolutely curb stomped by somebody with a rank 5 brick house. It's unwinnable. That match is unwinnable. Because not only is that a player that has already played the game and they have game experience, but it's 4 grades higher than what you have and 4 ranks higher than what you have. It's unkillable. You're not going to win. And so I think the number of people who join the game and then get absolutely, they get absolutely bodied by all of these people who just want easy matches and they're willing to tank and they're willing to justify other people who are also tanking. So long as it's a thing that's generally considered okay, I don't think the player base is ever going to grow. Very few people are going to suffer through that. I wouldn't. I was able to make it, like, I have so much game, like 4 years game experience almost. I have so much game experience that I could make it to where I am without too much trouble. And I can beat a lot of people. But, like, I've lost plenty of matches to tankers where it's essentially unwinnable, even to myself, who has probably more experience than the tanker does. You kind of assumed it wasn't path damage or path radius because it'd probably be hard to program. I don't think it would. I think so long as there is a game that's really grindy like Mech Arena, it's always going to be meta sweaty because people are quick to stop wanting fun once they get into that grind. One thing I will say is that War Robots Frontiers is another really good game I like. It's a nice game. I just don't play it a whole lot. It's the type of game that I'd be more inclined to play it with somebody else, like with a friend. It's a lot easier to get stuff in that game. It's a lot easier to make strong builds, and yet the game is more sweaty than Mech Arena is. It is. It's more sweaty. So I don't necessarily draw the correlation between grindy and sweatiness. There's a loose correlation there because, yeah, people are more inclined to use sweaty stuff because, they're gonna spend months of their time grinding for something. But I think the game, just in general, Mech Arena as a game is just generally more chill than a lot of other games. It's like every battle's like 5 minutes at most, probably more like 3 minutes. So it's like, as opposed to, it's actually, I'm not even gonna lie, it's one of the things that I like the least about it. But it's also the nice thing about it is that you don't care if you lose a match. Like, it doesn't matter. It's 3 minutes of your time. Like, it's not like these other games where you're spending 10, 20 minutes fighting to get as much of a advantage as you can. Like a freaking Battle Royale game. Like, you spend 25 minutes getting into the last 2. Like, you're absolutely gonna try your best. But for Mech Arena, it's 3 minutes of your time. You don't really care. And I think that's a big reason as to why the game's a bit more chill. But the main problem I think is tankers, because and also the fact that Plarium's fully willing to allow people to just buy wins essentially. Like, you could just spend $5, get a rank 3 legendary mech, and stomp all over people who have freaking rank 2 uncommon mechs. You could easily do that. And people do that. I inspired you to start your own free-to-play account. You got to Zephyr so far? Nice. It's also just the rank 3 mech offers. They have, like, barely more SP than a Guardian, which is just stupid. That is also true. That is also true. Yeah. But I think more than that, the matchmaking sort of compensates for it. In that, like, I'll be matched up against people like that all the time. But I have a lot of game experience, and I think the game knows that my win rate's pretty high. If you look at any of these guys with, like, this dude, he clearly spent a bit. Bastion, Revoker, EM Rifles, Brickhouse. His win rate's like 50%. I didn't even look at the win rate first. I just went straight to the account because I know almost every time anyone who has almost everybody at this SP has like a 50% win rate. even in, like, including bot matches, like, everybody's win rate should be above 50% because of all the bot matches should be basically free wins. This guy's tanking, but that's kind of different, but his win rate's still not that good, right? And so, like, who are they losing to? They're losing to people like me who actually have, like, a lot of game experience. Or maybe they're just losing to other people who have even stronger stuff, I don't know. But generally, it's like, it's not super unfair. Just because their hanger's stronger does not mean that it's unfair. Because I have a lot more experience and I could beat anybody. If they gave me an opponent with an identical hanger, that would be unfair. Because then they probably have a lot less experience than I do. Technically. The matchmaking systems, their only concern is to make sure that the match is as even as possible. They don't care about SP or making sure that the hangers are even. They just want to make sure that there's a 50-50 chance of you winning or losing. Sometimes it completely fails. A lot of times it completely fails, especially in Hanger Showdown. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, it only really cares about making sure that you have a 50-50 chance of winning. It doesn't really care how it gets there. But tanking is specifically, I think, what really breaks it. Because someone like me, I'll be put up against the people with stronger hangers, but just because I have a stronger hanger doesn't mean that they're likely to win. Doesn't mean that they're more likely to win, I should say. But tanking completely breaks that. Completely breaks that. Because it tricks the matchmaking into thinking that you're way weaker than you are. And so even though it'll put you maybe up against people who are slightly stronger because of like a win rate, of any type of win rate thing, you still have way stronger things than the matchmaking thinks that you have. So you'll just absolutely body people. You got your first gold futures, nice. You're in tier 6, but you have to fight Deathwalker, Surge, Eclipse, Hemlock, and Nomad. I mean, like, literally, I'll just scroll through my opponents for a second. Onyx, Hemlock, Salver, Solas, Surge. It's 5 KSP, by the way. Like, I'll fight this on a regular. There's one Aegis. That's the only thing that I actually have access to. Yeah, everything else. Really strong. This guy. Really strong. Really strong stuff, I should say. This guy's got a Dreadnought, everything else is pretty weak. Seeker, Salver, Surge, Hemlock. Onyx. Potentially Tanker Hanger. Like, you get the point. Like, everybody fights those people. And you'll lose some of them, but you'll also win some of them. So it's not like every time you fight it, it's unfair. If you're a good player, then the matchmaking is more likely to put you up against those people. But, yeah. What's that Aegis build? Yeah. But that's again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, just because someone has a good hanger, or just because they have strong mechs, doesn't mean that they know how to use them or how to build them correctly. Like, a lot of these builds are scuffed as hell, dude. Like, what the heck is that? Just use 2 Revokers on it, brother. Like, what are you even doing? And then... was it this guy at the... no. Like, was this... Overdriver on that, Tetra Rifle on that, that's not even a good idea. Viper on that's not even a good idea. Some of these are kind of strange. This is a decent hanger. You get that one. This is probably like the best hanger out of all of them. This one's a little bit weird. The Onyx is kind of out of place. Yeah, it's probably the best account out of all of them. But, like, yeah, it's like they don't necessarily know how to use it. Just because they have good stuff doesn't necessarily mean that they know what they're doing with it. It's supposed to look at your past performance? Yeah, supposedly. Is this their hanger rating stream? No. No, sorry. The Aegis build you have is kind of OP. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I made that for free for all, and then I just kind of kept with it because I was playing 5v5. Your whole team just got stomped by one Dreadnought. Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. And that's the thing is, like, I could beat a player like that because I know how to counter a Dreadnought generally. And I put certain builds into my hangar to make sure that I can deal with certain issues. I think that, in a nutshell, the biggest problem that free-to-play players have is that they try to make brawler builds. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't afford to. You can't afford to. Let's check, let's check some of these guys. Like, they spend some money. So a lot of these, I mean, just Gemini Podgun. Otherwise, like, Stormrack Viper. That guy's got good hanger, though. Most of these are going to be DPS-based builds. Tetra Rifle, Viper, Viper on Hemlock doesn't even make sense. Ember Gun. Freaking Railguns on Sentinel, yeah. Like, most of these are DPS-based. Fragment Gun on Shadow. And that's because people who spend a couple bucks on a legendary mech, they can afford to deck them out with high DPS weapons because their mechs are stronger than yours. And so as a free-to-play player, you cannot... And this is why, like, I didn't even buy Revoker for a while, because I didn't need it. There's no point in having Revoker. The only reason that I got Revoker is because I have Zephyr. What else would I put Revoker on except for maybe Aegis just for fun? But it's like none of my builds are brawler builds. Look at my hanger, dude. Ranged, and a passive Stormrack build. This is the only thing that I'm even going to attempt to get close with. Because I know that they'll flatten me. Especially since I don't have mods. Free-to-play players should not be trying to copy the OP hangers that they're getting killed by. I think that's the biggest problem that they have, is that they try to use the same weapons. They're like, oh, this guy killed me with Revoker, therefore I should try to put Revoker on whatever it is that I have. But it's like, you probably don't have a good mech for Revoker, though. The only good mech for Revoker that I have is the Zephyr. Everything else, it's just not going to work. They will out DPS you and they will out survive you because they probably have more HP as well. So you have to play it smart and you have to play it passive. That's why Podgun is one of the best weapons you could ever get as a free-to-play player. This build is really good. Orion is the anti-pay-to-win mech. Ranged Panther, to make sure that nobody gets up too close. I can't brawl with them. And then the Stormracks. I do have a Stormrack build, but I have it on Lancer, which is super passive. And so, once again, I'm not even attempting to brawl with people. And you shouldn't either. Because of that Dreadnought, the match was over in 40 seconds. Yeah, I believe it. You use Revoker on Killshot and Zephyr. Revoker Killshot's it's pointless. It's kamikaze. You die immediately. Unless you have mods on your Killshot. You die immediately with it, and you know that you die immediately with it. But you think that because it's a good weapon, a good brawler weapon, you think that it's good for you, but it's not good for you. You're not going to kill anything with that. You're just going to immediately die to everybody who has something slightly better than you, which, if you're a free-to-play player, is most people. Most people have something better than you. You do have mods, though. Okay. If you have mods, then it can survive a little bit, but even still, it's probably not. I very much doubt that it does very good. I'll bet that you do better with a different weapon mod. And that's essentially just what I'm saying, right? And obviously it's going to be slightly different for everybody. Different people might have a different circumstance. And it depends on what your hanger looks like. But like the TLDR is essentially like, just because you're dying to something doesn't mean that that's the thing you should be trying to get. Necessarily. I think most free-to-play players are almost always going to be at an equipment disadvantage. So their hanger is going to be worse overall than their opponents. Like that guy I was talking about Deathwalker, or the other guy that was talking about Dreadnought, like, you're gonna have the equipment disadvantage, so you have to make sure that you know what you need. And usually what you need is range. A lot of what you should be trying to do is to bait the people who just want to run up to you in your face. Cause like a lot of spending players, if they spend enough money, then they end up with really, really strong builds, and they just walk through everybody. And so they get used to just holding down the trigger and just walking through everybody. So you need to make sure that, you know, you do certain things, you know. Use guided weapons like pod guns so that you don't take damage. Use something like a Lancer to get up to places that they can't reach to. The more times you can kill them without taking any damage, it's not just a matter of getting a double KO, right? You should always try to make sure that you're not taking any damage whatsoever, because the more times you do that, the more aggro and the more brain dead they're going to be. They're going to be really angry, and they're just going to keep sending themselves at you. It's something I've learned. Would you consider getting kill shot now? Piece of crap. Orion with Podgun will crush all those pay-to-win players. Orion's like, yeah, one of the most anti-pay-to-win mechs out there, but it's in tier 6, which is kind of hard for a lot of people to reach. But that's why I got Orion first. That was the first one that I got in tier 6. Even though Panther's good, like, obviously I got Orion first. Seeker should be available sometime this month. Yeah, maybe. Be kind of crazy. Anyway, I've been rambling for a long time. Radius weapon's the first thing you get. Stuff like Cryonator, Stormrock. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't bother getting a Revoker for a long time, because up until Zephyr, there's no good Revoker. Like, free-to-play players don't have a good Revoker mech until they get Zephyr. And Zephyr remains to be your only good Revoker mech up until, like, Surge, really. Is Revoker 12 worth it? I mean, yeah. If you want multiple Revoker builds, you're going to want to get it eventually for, like, your Surge or your Eclipse. Revoker is bad, don't get it. That's crazy. I have a feeling you need less than 2 hands to count the number of true free-to-play players who are waiting to buy Seeker with Acorns. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, people were like, oh, it's going to be really bad when Solus becomes free-to-play. It's like, why? What free-to-play players in tier 8 waiting to spend Acorns on a Solus? I don't think really anybody who would have gotten Solus already has Solus, realistically. There's going to be a couple people who get it, but, like, you're not going to see a noticeable jump. I could pretty much promise. You would spend for Solus? Yeah, but not many people would. I got you through your exam block. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad to help anyway. Anyway, I am going to head out. And I know I rambled on for a long time, but I tend to do that toward the end of streams. And by toward the end, I mean the last, like, hour. Which in this case, I think was more like an hour and a half. Yeah, it was like an hour, 20 minutes. Whatever. Some people are here for it. Most people aren't, but that's why I don't ramble in videos. I do have to make sure that, like, I ramble as little as possible in my videos, which I used to ramble a lot more in them, but Nowadays, I just leave it for streams, whatever. And toward the end of streams, ideally, because I know most people are going to leave when I start doing that. But it's okay. It's a nice time for me to just, like, talk about random stuff. A bit equals an hour and a half equals an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, pretty much the same. You missed the action, yeah. That was a while ago. The action was a while ago. But it's okay. I did not end up doing anything with this, which I do have. This is the box that all the official content creators got. You already know what it is. You probably already saw it. I wouldn't make like a big deal out of it because I know everybody else already made their videos, and so people really don't care anymore. It's like several days after the fact, so people don't really care anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do like a short, or just like add it to like a segment of a video. I'll make like a Juggernaut video. I'll make a rank 6 that is one thing that I did. Ringer, I don't know if you saw. I got my Juggernaut to rank 6. I got mods on it. Well, one mod on it. Pretty OP. It's actually not. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. No regrets. Some regrets. Not really, though. But yeah, I'll probably make a video about that, and then maybe in the video I'll just like throw that in there. Just sits like out there. This is the most Juggernaut any Juggernaut will ever be. It's so sad. It's not really true, because back in the day, Juggernaut used to have the most amount of HP. It used to actually be the tankiest mech out there, and that was really nice. But now it's just sad. Now it's just sad. You got Quantum Gun 8. Good for you. It's not that good, but hopefully you have fun with it anyway. On again tomorrow? Streaming tomorrow? Probably not. Though that is another thing that I've like kind of there's so many things that's like I'm basically just thinking out loud because I have so many different ideas for like what different videos I could make, keeping in mind the fact that probably this account is not going to last forever. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of thought of like doing a different. I kind of started off this account as one where it's like everything that I did on stream. So like I basically didn't play the game unless it was on stream. Isn't that tomorrow? Oh yeah, you're right. 1 p.m. EST, which is 7 p.m. right now. Like 18 hours from now. Yeah, like 18 hours from now. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that tournament thing. You are correct. I kind of forgot about that. I do have an alarm, so like I would have remembered probably, but yeah, I did forget about that. There we go. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. I am gonna leave now. Bye bye. Oh, hi, Pablo. Bye, Pablo.